Well, I'd say that what MD's getting here with me is a very experienced Premier League manager. Arguably, there's only 2 or 3 who've got more experience, games in the Premier League. I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win.
Ah, fuck, I've gone and pissed myself. What do I look like covered in this? I look like a fucking loser drenched in piss. I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I went and pissed myself. At least I'm not lost all self-respect until now, because oh fuck, I've gone and shit myself. Well, would you look at this? I'm all covered in piss and shit. Just earlier I was looking swell, but by golly now I smell. And that's too bad, because I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I shit and piss myself.
I'll fuck that up, and I hang on. Let's
Yeah,
get rid of
put
that.
us on. Fucking hell, Nick.
I don't know how to do it now. There we go. Whee!
Oh.
The big reveal. We've got Jazz with us.
Hello, everyone. Hi. We missed a bit. We're going to jump into the crowd then, I think, weren't you? We missed that bit.
Yeah,
We're
basically,
gonna dive into the crowd.
somebody memed me a couple of weeks ago to say this is Nick whenever we lose. So I thought I'd use it for my own devices. You know. There you go.
I must admit that was top quality. That intro, that was quality.
Right, Jazz. Before we allow you to go any further, we need to assess what you're like on the pew pew scale, because obviously you're replacing Mickey tonight. Can you give me a pew pew?
Yeah, pew pew. There you go.
Yes. Not the best, but Gary, I think you might have to take pew pew duty tonight.
Pew, pew.
There you go. I'll tell you what you are on tonight, though, Gary. You're on comments.
Oh,
Hey!
fuck, no.
Yeah.
Pull the short straw there. Yeah. Sunday's got worse.
I know. But Jazz, lovely to have you on, mate. Thanks for coming on at short notice, because Mickey's a fucking letdown and John's a pisser.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
John has given me assurances today that he is back as of next Sunday. He's
Excellent
back.
stuff.
He's back. So we're going to have a
Welcome
full
back
house
next week,
Sunday.
John.
Yeah. So that's good. That is brilliant. But look, I've got to be honest. We said before this, do we really want to dissect this game? I didn't talk about it much afterwards. It was just shit, like one of the worst. I mean, we scored 2 goals, but Palace could have just run away with it. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that Jazz watched the second half, because I certainly fucking didn't. I was making that meme video in the second half. Jazz, what did you make of it today?
It was copy and paste of every single game since January. There was not much to talk about. The funny thing is, Nicky, our second goal, Fulham scored by themselves. The defender kind of was a poor back pass to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper couldn't do anything about it. So, yeah, it was got that bad. Fulham give us a goal. They felt so sorry for us. They thought they'd scored that goal, really. But copy and paste, mate. I always go back to, let's just say, go back to Christmas Day. We're 6th in the league. We know we got a lot of results by luck against Arsenal, Spurs, United with about 10% possession. And I'm thinking, I got kind of melancholy and sentimental, as you know, and I gave him a chance thinking, he ain't that silly. What he's going to do now is he's going to think about, I could have a job here for life. I could go upstairs as director. What I might do is I'm going to buy that striker. I'm going to buy a left winger. I'm going to buy a couple of young defenders on loan to help out the old kind of pensioners at the back.
Don't want to do that, Jez.
No, exactly.
Don't want to do that, mate.
Stubbornness, wasn't it?
And the thing is, we do know for a fact the amount of players, in particular, Starton and Sullivan, were throwing at him, particularly for that left wing position. There were so many. I mean, look, I know Zaha was a bit of a stretch because there's a rumor that he got off with his daughter, so that was probably a bit off. But there was loads of players on that left hand side that we were pushing. He said no. The reason for that was because his vision was to have James Ward-Prowse, an amazing Calvin Phillips, and Souček in the middle. That was his dream. If it had gone and got a left winger, that means that he would have to put Paqueta in the middle. That's why we didn't go out and get a left winger. He then came out in the standard this week, Gary, wasn't it? And he reiterated that he likes a small squad. He said big squads can be problematic. And then he goes on to moan about the amount of games that he's got.
He did. Can I just say, I've got a theory or a counter theory to yours, Jazz. You got all optimistic after the Arsenal thing. And don't blame you. It was a great.
Tommy, you've been invited on as well, by the way.
After the Arsenal thing, it was a great result. But my theory,
Tommy was in the shower. Tommy don't shower.
We know that after that he was going to go had we lost that cup final last year, right? He was out of there, and it even kind of said as much to players. He was kind of on his way out, and but when he won that trophy, it went straight to his head. He became Mr. fucking ego, right? And I think exactly the same thing happened after Arsenal, because he's basically spent the last 5 months manipulating the media, or 4 months manipulating the media, trying to get himself a new contract in the terms that he wanted. This season has not been about West Ham. It's been about David Moyes' survival.
I think Andy Townsend is the last one, gentlemen, isn't he? He's jumped on the TalkSport bandwagon. I didn't even want to click on the video. Something like West Ham belong in 8th place. That's their... And I didn't want to open the video, or I was getting them all wound up. It's just getting ridiculous now, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously, on the back of the Stuart Pearce Hippo Head video, it's gone even more deeper and embarrassingly. They're both laughing on the tape. They're laughing at the club, and they've and money for the club, and they're laughing at each other the West Ham way. Ha ha ha! What the hell is that? Oh, I can't believe it. Man.
This is what I don't get.
But the thing is, I can understand it from Sam, because Sam's just a cunt, right? He is. We all know that. But Pearce, I was so disappointed in him. I was so disappointed in Pearce.
It was awful what he said, because he was basically lining up. He was saying things that Sam was laughing at. They were basically laughing at the club, and I can't forgive that sort of stuff. I think it's disgusting from an ex-player who we loved and we gave a lot of support to, and an ex-coach. It's disgusting. It shows he knows the square root of fuck all about West Ham, or he does, but he's just decided to play. He's to give a few sound bites for an interview, probably getting fucking, a couple of $100 for it or something like that. You know what these gigs pay, not very much. But I'm disgusted with all of these pundits. They're all, they're all part of the same little, this subculture that's going on out there, the circuit, the ex-pros and managers circuit. They do the punditry, they do the after dinner talking. They turn up on fucking TalkSport to give their, a couple of sound bites. That is what they're paid for, to create news. They come on, they say something that can be used as a media narrative. And fuck me, he is one bit of credit I give him, David Moyes, is that he is brilliant at orchestrating the media.
He must have a lot of friends in a lot of places.
Yeah,
he must have, because he's really been pulling out all the fucking stops. I mean, and the media. I mean, they're, as far as I'm concerned, they're losing so much credibility. They are. Although I say that, maybe people from the outside listen to what they're saying. I don't know, but it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
What is that? Be careful what you wish for. Are they still going to say that now? Be careful what you wish for. We've won 4 games in how many? 21 or 24, is it?
Well, we've won 2 league games and we've won 4 in all competitions.
Fucking hell.
We've lost we drew and lost to Bristol City.
But like Jazz said earlier, it's what we've been saying all season, because I started selling Moyes out mugs around about the Brighton game. But we've been saying it all season. Statistically, we've been lucky. We've been down the bottom. We've been creating the least chances, conceding the most chances. Playing the deep, I think we're only in front of Sheffield United in terms of conceding touches in our box. So that's how fucking deep we sit. We've conceded the most penalties because of how deep we sit. It's just insane. And what does happen in football over the course of a season? I have been saying it's taken longer than what I thought. I thought we'd crash after Christmas, but football does tend to results tend to catch up to performances in the end. That's what happens in football, and especially when you've got such a thin squad. It ain't even a surprise. We've seen it happen before, and didn't we see it happen in the Europa League season? I mean, last year we went at the Europa Conference League, but look at the league form.
So it was awful all season. I hated last season in the Premier League. I went to quite a few away games as well, but I obviously go to all the home games, most of them anyway. And I don't know about you, Jez. I mean, you've stopped going to a few lately, haven't you? But I've found myself many times this season, last season, standing there, just having a chat, ignoring the football, thinking, "What the fuck have I come down here for?"
I remember last season, we're home to Tottenham is one of the early games, right?
Yeah.
Harry Kane's. It's if you go back in history and tradition, Gary knows more than me. The two games we look forward to is Tottenham and Man United. For some reason, that's when the most atmosphere is created. I'm sitting there, and we're waiting for Tottenham to attack us.
Yep.
Yeah. We're just standing back, and I couldn't believe it. And Tottenham weren't in the best confidence, weren't in the best of form, and they were saying, "No, you have the ball." We're saying, "No, you're our guest. You have the ball." This carried on to the first half. It finished 1-1. 65 minutes. I went downstairs to have a beer. I didn't come back up again. So even when I was going, I was getting bored, and I wasn't. Sometimes at halftime, I meet someone I know. Chat 20 minutes, I got more of a laugh with you, mate, than on the pitch. And then I used to have 3 season tickets. My son still goes. I don't go. I go once a month, not even that. Yeah. Obviously, I've been tarnished. I went to Bristol City, and you know what happened in that game. It was a complete joke, as it is really. And the one that really tipped me over the line, gentlemen, was I keep going back to that Chelsea Stamford Bridge, 1-0 up. Antonio got a lucky goal, hit his shin, rolled over the line. Moyes brings on 2 defensive subs and takes off 2 attackers. We lose 2-1, and I lose my rag. I couldn't believe it.
See, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. He will never change. Andy Townsend even said that is the way David Moyes plays football. He will never change. So what you're saying, Andy, you're saying that we've got to change. All the fans have got to change and accept it. I'm not sure what subliminal message I'm supposed to fucking pew, 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 pew. I'm not sure. I fucking hate myself for doing that.
I ain't saying that.
Every time, I'll tell you what, all you people out there, every time I do a pew pew, I'm fucking dying inside. Right?
You need a gun. You need those plastic guns, mate. Yeah.
Cheers, Matt. Cheers, Mark.
Right. I've completely lost my thread now because of that.
Sorry.
But no, he will never change. He will never change. That is the way he is. He will never change. This goes back to you. Funny you mentioned Chelsea, because you go back to the only FA Cup final he's ever been in was for Everton. Hello, Tommy.
Good evening, chaps.
Yeah, the only FA Cup final he's ever got to was with Everton. Right, his team took the lead after about 10-15 minutes. Guess what he did? Tried to defend it. Lost 2-1.
Yeah. I've just noticed we've got
change.
We've got the 4 angriest men on YouTube here. I mean, Jazz has gone a bit passive lately, but he won't be by the time he's finished with his show. We're gonna
the rums are flowing. The rum and coke.
We're gonna ruin him again.
Go on, Tommy. Tell us apart from the fucking defensive, the masterstroke at half time of bringing on 2 defenders when 4-1 down. What did you think of today?
It was just spineless, toothless. Players look like they're completely fed up with the whole thing. I think, me and Nick, and I'm sure yourself have all said, we just can't wait for this fucking season to be over, and the players look like they can't wait either, to be honest.
They're done, aren't they?
Yeah, they look today like they've just packed it in.
I think they have. You know what I want, Tommy? You know what I want from this fucking board? If they're going to do one thing for us, sack him now. I will renew my tickets tomorrow, right? Let Heitinger, Noble, Potsy, Keane, Nolan, whoever, take over for the rest of the season. Let them start blooding some youngsters. Give us something interesting to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, you should do that. Not just being reactionary to today's game, saying, "Oh, fucking, I'm angry now. Sack him." It makes sense to sack him now.
It does,
because we've got 4 games left. We still have an outside chance of a possibility that we might be able to squeeze a European spot. And that would matter. Financially it matters. It matters when you're trying to bring in a new manager. It matters when you're trying to recruit really good players. If we're going to have any chance, even if it's an outside one at this point, of trying to have a kind of a final flourish in these last 4 games, there's absolutely no way that happens now under Moyes. Absolutely no way. Yeah. The board should be looking at this saying, okay, even if we get rid of Moyes now and let Heitinger take over with Nolan, or bring in Mark Noble, last 4 games, it could give the team that bounce that they need that breath of fresh air that they need to finish really strongly. And let's just see if we can give ourselves a chance. Because from what we saw today under Moyes, we might not get another point.
No, I mean, look, I've got to be honest with you. Look, you know my take on this. I've been saying he's been gone for the majority of this season now. So certainly for the last 6 months I have, and I believe it as well. But my only concern now as we approach the end of this season is some of the players that we've got that we might want to retain. So say for instance, you Caduce's, Paqueta might be gone. He's already in Manchester, I think. But some of the others, Alvarez, some of these players. If we finish the last 4 games in this vein, these players, you're going to do damage. These players are going to want out. It's what you can do is if I think, as you said, Tommy, we don't necessarily need to bring in the new manager now, but we can just put a temporary bring Kevin Keane in for 4 games. Just anything. Bring Kevin Keane in. Remove the cloud. From the club, and then because the other thing, which somebody brought to my attention the other day, we all know the size of the rebuild that we've got in the summer. We know that. Look, we know that Tim's probably already out there now. He's the one that's going to be buying the players. But you've got the Euros in the summer, which does always hold up transfers. It does. That is a bit of a concern. So I hope that they don't fuck around when Moyes goes, leaving it late to get a manager in, because look, the manager is going to have some input. Tim will work with the new manager because. Like, he's a director of football, so a director of football gets judged on their transfers. They will get judged on the success of the manager that they choose as well. So it's important that he works with the new manager. Yeah, he's going to have to. He's got to be quick. He's got to be quick.
Yeah, and he's going to bring in a manager that suits his philosophy. So Tim knows the kinds of players that he's looking to sign. He has a vision going forward of what we're going to look like as a squad, and. When he's doing that, he kind of has an idea in his head. Okay, this manager in that kind of system with these kinds of players, and so he should be able to kind of get some cohesion into the squad, into the team, by getting in a manager that suits the kind of players that he'll be looking to signing. Bring a manager in who's on the same page as him, because him and Moyes, no matter what they say publicly, him and Moyes philosophically are chalk and cheese.
Right, I agree. Right, Herpy, you've only given us £2, so you get Tommy. You get a Tommy pew pew. Tommy.
Pew pew.
That's a good
better than Jazzy's.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jazz's heart wasn't
Cheers,
in it,
mate. Thank you, Graham.
Jazzy's had all the enthusiasm of me when he did his.
Fuck you. Nick, what I was going What I was going to say is, do you reckon the new manager's going to report into Tim starting? Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So
Look.
When you think when Moyes came in before, I haven't got the slides on there anymore, but you don't need it anyway.
He's comments.
So you had Sullivan and Moyes. That was it. Well, now it's different. Now there is a structure in place. There is. Now you've got Tim. You've got the fucking Hans Gruber, the analyst, whatever his name is, Maximilian Hahn. He's in there. You've got his brother in there. You've got there is a staff there now. So all we effectively need is a head coach. And we've seen, if you look at the under 23s all the way down now, we've got a new style of play that's been deployed, and that's definitely influenced by Stuyton, because they play the same way as Leverkusen. They play a 3-4-3. They're playing that the whole way through. So that is what will happen. That means that's what we've got. That's what we've got to look forward to, and it is an attacking formation.
I think that's all today.
All he's got to do is just get a coach that fits that mould, isn't he? That's all he's got to do.
I saw. I don't know if you saw it today. I saw a link today with Jurgen Klopp's brother, Clippity.
Clippity Klopp.
So are you serious?
Fuck's sake, Tom. That's like the worst cracker joke ever. Yeah. Should we just jump into the player ratings and start smashing some players up?
Oh fucking yeah. Let's
get these done. Right,
I don't think people in the comments even want to do player ratings. They're fucking had enough. They don't want to do it.
4s across the board. Oh, we got another one. Hang on. Hold on to your seats. Pew pew pew.
There you go. Thank you very much. There's another one there as well. They're doing it just to fucking cause you pain, I think,
piss
Gary.
Me off, make me die inside. Mickey, get your ass on this fucking channel.
It's all Mickey's fault, isn't it? Right. Okay. I'll stick myself down the bottom.
Go on then. One more. Pew pew pew.
That's it. That's enough. No more pew-pews for a little while. Fuck's sake. It's getting on my tits.
Getting on my tits.
Right. Okay. So we've got Fabianski. We'll start at the top. We'll go to Tommy. Flappy Yansky today. Flappy Yansky was back, wasn't he? Fuck him. What was he doing?
Yeah, he was. I have absolutely no idea. He was really, really poor today, which is a shame because he's actually put in some really decent performances recently. And today, unfortunately, we did see the return of Flapianski. There are times when he looks kind of all at sea with crosses coming in. It seems to be the closer they are to kind of his crossbar, the worse he gets. So anything that's kind of over the top of him, he just doesn't seem to like at all. He was very indecisive today. Good keepers take control of their 18-yard box, and certainly anything coming in around that 6-yard box, they should be kind of gobbling up really. And he was all over the place today. Very poor. Could probably only give him a 3 on that today.
He was poor.
Very poor.
The first of the donkeys. Jazz, I don't know whether you know the format on this. Basically, anything 4 and below is a donkey. We don't do it to be spiteful. These are just the rules.
I thought you was going to add a traffic cone today.
I didn't have time. Why would we want a traffic cone?
Because for that 5th goal, we were like traffic cones.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. But no, I didn't have time. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, so we've got a different matrix. I know it's different to how you normally score them. 6 is average, 5 is below average, 7 is above average, 8's very good, 9's excellent, 10 is perfect. I don't think there's going to be.
You won't be needing any of them.
Oh, no. This is going to be easy for me. Easy, easy.
Right. So we go Gary first. Emerson.
Well, that was the worst I've ever seen Emerson. He was outrageously bad. God, he was bloody awful. Right. He didn't do anything right. He seemed to just be retreating. He seemed to be static. He wasn't putting himself out in any way, shape, or form. I'll give him a 1. He was disgraceful.
That's strong.
He was disgraceful. I can't help that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that is fine. Right, Jazz, you can start with Soufal.
Yeah, I'm looking at an external website, and Emerson's got more of a rating than Kufal and Soufal, whichever way you want it. He's got the lowest rating apart from Fabianski, and he was on that side marking as a gentleman who obviously scored a goal.
Yeah,
and was the famous player apparently that David Moyes wanted before Ben Rama, and then Sullivan said, "Oh, 1 in, 1 out policy." So until Filippo Anderson leaves, you can't have him, and then we ended up with Ben Rama on the bench. But that's
in brackets. Sullivan's agent had Ben Rama in stock.
Yeah, he was playing really good fullback, and so Moyes decided let's put him in a position he's even worse in.
That's it. So I'll give him 2. Because
he was
no matter what, he still kind of runs around and he's trying to do things even if he might not mean it. And
if you think Emerson is probably one of my picks for Player of the Year. I expect a lot fucking more from Emerson than I got today. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think due to his age, I don't think he's going to have a year like this again because he's 30 now. Like a lot of them, he's touched that peak now, and he did really well this season. Way beyond.
It was. I thought it was actually hilarious when Moyes said in his post-game presser that he could have made 10 changes at half time. The fucking prick won't make 1 change before 75 minutes.
But I thought I'd bring 2 defenders on instead.
2 defensive. Got to hold on to the 4-1 defeat. Do you know what I mean? You got to be careful there. Zuma. Look, I've got to go even worse than him because he's supposed to be the captain. He was really shit, and I know he's got bad knees and everything, but he was so poor, dragged all over the place. He looked half asleep. And look, listen, we played Thursday night. So did Villa. Villa went to fucking penalties. Did you see that they won 3-1 today?
I mean, Arsenal played in Europe and they were running around like greyhounds.
It's ridiculous. I'm going to give him a 1. I'm going to give him a 1. He was awful.
See,
Solanke's probably the slowest.
You see today, like Solanke's on 18 goals now for the season.
Yeah,
I mean, if he gets 2 goals in the last 4 games, whatever it is, 5 games, whatever he got left, for him in a Bournemouth team to bag 20 goals would be phenomenal.
Yeah, it really would be. But having said that, they do play decent football and they do have decent chance creation.
Yeah, but it's really, really hard. Like that 20 goals is a real glass ceiling. I mean,
of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah.
It's taken a long time, Tommy, but he's got there and he struggled for a good few years. He was one of Eddie Howe's expensive signings from Liverpool back in the day, 20 million or whatever. It's taken him a while, but he looks good. And apparently, to be fair, I did speak to we did go in for him in the summer and they quoted 35 million. And you know what Sullivan's like? Can I pay 1 million a year for 35 years?
But the thing is, you don't get to pay 35 million for an English striker. If you want to buy there's always English tax when you're in the English league, because you need the homegrown quota. So a player like that is always going to cost a fortune. Why we do it, I don't know. I mean, we know that Moyes was offered the likes of fucking Darwin Núñez the year before he went to Liverpool. Moyes was offered Darwin Núñez for 25 to 30 million, and that was a loan. That was a loan with an obligation to buy. So it was basically, about 5 million for the first year, and then you pay in instalments after that. Moyes said no. Then obviously Núñez looked good. Then Moyes decided he wanted to buy him, so we went and put in a 40 million, 50 million bid, and Liverpool came in and bid 80 million for him. Yeah, so yeah, that's another one. They're just so slow. They're so slow. Moyes has to wait until they're proven, but by the time they're proven, they're expensive and other people want them.
Yeah, it's different Dave, isn't he? He takes bloody ages to make up his mind. It's always been the same. The only one
I think Gary, what it is, there's more than one clown at the club. Sullivan, if Moyes does give him a list, then Sullivan pretends for half the window, can't negotiate a price. And then he tells Moyes with 2 weeks to go, Dave, I did try. They're not listening. And then, but I've got 3 more you might want, David, from my agent, mate. I've got 3 I can pull out the bag. And then he brings one of his. It's not only Moyes.
That's the problem.
That's Sullivan there, Jay. And that C doesn't stand for clown, just so you know.
Yeah.
I
mean, look, we've got a problem there. We've got a problem there, a genuine problem, because
same letter, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah. Sullivan
starts with a C.
To use a business term, right? Sullivan is still going to be sort of in the supply chain, right? With these things, he's always going to be the blocker, the one at the end. With Will Salthouse and other people whispering in his ear about other players, and he'll be umming and ahhing about, like that guy that we didn't buy. The other side went and bought. Was it Brentford? Went and bought from Copenhagen. The winger.
Yeah.
Get his name.
Oh, from Ghana, wasn't he?
No,
kudos.
No, he went to Brighton. So Osman.
Yeah. I knew it began with B. I was almost right.
Yeah,
but that is typical. I know there was a bit of a fuck up there with the agent and whatever else, but that could have got done. Brighton got it done. But we didn't want to get it done because the rumor was Sullivan's mates were telling him he weren't worth the money.
Yeah, but look, let's face it, right? A 19-year-old unproven kid, he might have been decent, but that weren't going to change the outcome of this season.
No,
it weren't. It weren't going to change the outcome of this season.
It wasn't, but it would have given us especially the way Moyes is with
it wouldn't. He wouldn't have played him, Gary. What would have been the point in signing a 19-year-old kid? He wouldn't have used him.
Well, it would have been good for this summer because we could have done what Brighton did, right? Just to do. It's an ambitious signing, I think.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have minded it. But anyway, Tommy Ogbonna.
Yeah, I love Oggy. I really do. Been a brilliant servant for the club, but obviously, look, he's past it now. And there's rumours that the club are trying to get him to sign a 1-year extension.
Which
I saw that.
Sounds about right that's got fucking Sullivan written all over it, if anything does. But no, poor Oggy just doesn't have it anymore, unfortunately.
He doesn't.
Really, as a player, he should retire, frankly. Today was really poor. Got hooked, but to be honest, it could have been anybody. I love Oggy, so I'll give him a 2. I don't want to go 1 on him, but to give him a 2, he was really poor.
I love him, but I don't 100, 80 grand a week love him. You know what I mean? He ain't worth 80 grand a week.
We need to remove the sentimentality away from what we're doing in football, and also with deals as well. It's like what the deal that Antonio's got. He's got a chunky deal, and he got that extension when he was 32, 33. You shouldn't be giving players wages based on what they've done. It should be based on what they can do.
Well, you remember the Lanzini 6-year deal, wasn't it, Nick? The Lanzini 6-year deal. That cost us a lot. And don't forget, we're going to lose Johnson because he wants similar, and we don't want to give it to him. So, yeah, it's a bit weird, mate, how they think about it.
Yeah, it is. Right, the first of the non-existent midfielders, Gary, James Ward-Prowse.
Sorry, my pizza's just arrived in 1 second. This is what I've been driven to. I don't eat pizza. Cheers. Thank you.
Which one
James
again?
Will-
Is that from? Where's that from? Pizza Hut, Domio? Where's that from?
Pizza Hut, because my daughter's in college and we got 50% off, so I didn't even pay the whole price. Right. So I should say. Right. No, it's Domino's actually. I thought it was Pizza Hut. Anyway, James Ward-Prowse was a statue today. He was literally a statue. I mean, for that 5th goal, he ran up to the guy, sort of brushed his shoulder and let him run into the box. It was just so weak. The other night, fantastic Ward-Prowse. Today, back to the deep Ward-Prowse that we don't love very much.
If he was a Roman centurion, he would be Limpus Dickus, wouldn't he? He would. He would. Let's face it. He's not.
Look,
he's not great.
He was knackered. I know nobody wanted to give him it, but look, if one player the other night ran their fucking legs off, it was James Ward-Prowse. So if one was entitled to be tired, it would be him. So for that reason, I'm going to give him a 3. Going to be generous.
3, yeah. Donkey boy. Right, Jazz. Who do you want, Alvarez or Souček? Take your pick.
Well, Gary got his pizza delivery. I just got my new rum and coke delivery. There we go.
Lovely.
So which player now are we talking about, mate?
You can have Alvarez or Souček. Who do you want?
Oh, God.
Go on, I'll go Alvarez. Go on.
Yeah, I go Alvarez. So Alvarez, he got messed about a bit where he was told to go in the back, help the centre backs, because we switched to wing back 3 centre half system, which again didn't look like whatever they were doing. It just looked like crap anyway. Whatever they were trying to do, and I'm a bit concerned with him, Nick. Before I get to the rating in terms of the bookings and things like that, he's getting away with a lot of things. Even Thursday's game, he could have been booked and could have gone a bit. A good manager's got to get hold of him.
It's in his game, and to be honest, Julian Dix had a penchant for a yellow card. Would you have wanted him to change his game? I don't want Alvarez to change his game. Our issue, Jazz, is that we have no squad to cover him. We should have somebody that can step in. I don't mind losing that. I would rather have Alvarez at 100% than Alvarez at 80%. To be honest.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, the way we set up to play, Alvarez must be the most overworked DM in the fucking Premier League.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the element. It's the element.
The amount of fires that guy has to try and put out is insane.
Yeah. You know, Nicky on Fan TV, he actually said that, and he was at the game. He said that he started as the centre of a 3. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
it looked like that, Gary. He looked like that because them two
yeah.
kept them getting, and he kept on dropping back. And he does that a lot because I actually played a few games as centre half, and but it's a total mess. Instead of looking forward and trying to win the ball and move it forward, he's always looking back at the pensioners. Are you all right, boys? Yeah. You know,
I also think Moyes really fucked him off, taking him off the other day.
He really did. Yeah.
Oh
he
yeah.
Was angry. He was angry. Jazz, what was your score for Alvarez anyway?
It's going to be between 2 and 3, like a lot of things.
Well, none of them were good.
Nick, can you do the comments while I eat my pizza?
It's totally wrong day at the office today. So 2, I think. Yeah, 2. There wasn't much going right for any of them, mate. Just 2. Yeah.
That is fine, mate. Right, Tommy.
Yeah.
Get stuck into Tommy.
Nick, can you do the comments while I eat my pizza?
I pretended not to listen to you, Gal.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Right.
I know you do.
Yeah,
go on, Tommy.
In order for Souček to be able to do anything in any game, he needs the players around him to be really good. And then he can be his mostly anonymous little self and pop up with his little goals, and he can clear some headers. But when the team around him aren't playing well, then he just doesn't even look like a footballer half the time.
No, he don't.
He was, just chasing shadows, jogging to the left and the right and jogging back. And there's the game in these kinds of games where we're not playing well, the entire game just passes him by. He's chasing shadows, doesn't get a look in. And today was one of those days. And they give him a 1 because he was just absolutely and completely anonymous in the entire game. You almost forget he was playing, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing.
That's a normal game, Tommy. That's normal for him.
It's crazy. When you think back to last season, and that was when he was at his worst, right? That was probably the worst run of form that Thomas Souček has had. And we had Fornals and Lanzini sitting on the bench, just sitting there watching him. And Downs sitting there watching him. And you're just like, fuck it now. I'm going to be so glad when this Moyes nightmare is over, because it has been
Sorry,
a fucking
let me empty
nightmare.
my mouth a minute, right? Downs's stats in the Championship are fucking amazing. Have you seen them? They're just outrageous. Like a 94% passing accuracy. The guy, his manager calls him a beast. That's what he's been like in midfield this year. That's what we sent on loan.
Yeah. No, I agree. Right now, this is Lucas Paqueta again. Another player that has down tools. I do think he's already checked out, mentally checked out. I think he's in Manchester. I don't think that where he is positioned on the screen and where Moyes likes to play him is helping, because he is not a left winger, and I think he's fucked off with it. He's fed up with it, and he can't be asked no more. He's played out of position. If you want control of a game in midfield, then you put your best player in the middle. You don't have Ward-Prowse and fucking Souček in there, do you? It's as simple as that. He just sets us up all fucking wrong. There is no reason why we refer to Ward-Prowse and Souček as the worst duet since Jedward, Jazz. So it is to have Alvarez babysitting Jedward and have Paqueta shoehorned out on the fucking left is an absolute joke. But yeah, Paqueta was shit. He was absolute shit. I'm gonna give him a 1. I'm gonna give him a 1, which is. Oh, you could just say.
I would have given him 0. I would have done 0, mate. I would have done 0.
He literally didn't turn up, did he?
He did fuck all. He did fuck all. But what I'm saying is, this is David Moyes' management, his squad management. Like you were saying, Jazz, Alvarez is getting petulant. He's starting to lash out. These players look fucking annoyed now. We all saw after the Leverkusen game, James Ward-Prowse came out in a post-match press conference and said David Moyes set us up to. Well, he didn't say David Moyes, but he said we were too passive and too defensive in the first leg. We gave it away in the first leg. Antonio said the same. These players are probably a little bit fucked off. They didn't want to go out of Europe. We saw that from the effort they put in the first half the other day. They wanted to continue that journey. David Moyes fucked them. That's what he did by waving a white flag. I just, if they have down tools and look, let's have it straight. People can say they've got no right to do it, but do you know what? If it gets this cunt out the door at this point, I don't care. The end of the season now, I honestly don't. Do any of you care anymore for the last 4 games? I've run out of fucks to give at this point. I have.
I lost interest quite a while back, to be fair.
I think realistically, Europe's gone. I think we're just going through the motions now. We could get another fucking tonking next week against Liverpool.
Yeah,
we could potentially get a tonking against a resurgent Chelsea, who have improved a bit. And then we've got Man City on the final day. So, we've conceded 63 goals already, which is shameful. For someone who supposedly is a defensive manager and knows how to get a team defending. And the funny thing is, watching the game today, we're 4-0 down. It's like the commentator mentioned, that it's gone wrong. And Tony Gale says, Jesus, it's so unlike a David Moyes team.
No, and Joe, the annoying thing is, mate, Tony Gale doesn't feel like that at all about David Moyes. And he genuinely fucking doesn't.
But he was.
I love Tony Gale. I've had a chat with him. Tony Gale.
He's a lovely bloke, isn't he? He's a lovely bloke.
But his persona on TV and on the radio, and his messaging about David Moyes is very different to what it is when it's not on the radio and on the TV. Right, Tommy, Kudus.
Kudus, again, a kind of a thankless task for him today, really. I didn't think Kudus was the worst player. I did think he really was trying to put himself about a bit. Nothing was really happening for him. He didn't impact us in attack whatsoever, unfortunately. But I didn't see any attitude problem or anything like that. When you said Paqueta, which I completely agree with, just didn't want to be there at all.
No.
I thought Kudus at least was putting in some effort.
Yeah.
He was busy. He was doing a lot of running. He was trying to close down. He was, when he got on the ball, I mean, I think he felt like, geez, if I don't do something, no one's going to. And, so he was trying to make those lung bursting runs. He was trying to get at their back line. Okay, he was getting dispossessed because they were getting around him. But I thought he was at least trying, So I don't want to give Kudus a donkey, because I think it would be a little bit harsh on him, because he was that one player that I thought when he was getting on the ball and getting turned was trying to drive at them, was trying to beat a couple of players.
Sorry, Tommy, 1 minute. Gary, if I hear you chew once more, I'm going to punch my screen. Please.
Mute it, Gary.
I could hear you chewing.
I can't.
I thought I was muted.
No, I can't hear you chewing.
I couldn't hear him.
I could hear something. I've got no.
I was on mute. How can you hear me when I'm on mute?
I could hear you chewing.
Are you in my room here?
No, it was a Nicky. Nick is a donkey. It was a donkey. Sorry,
it was a donkey.
It was a donkey chewing in the booth. We got so many donkeys today in the back.
For fuck's sake!
I've got a serious fucking thing about mouth noises. I can't help it. It drives me mad.
You know, when I do a ramble, right? I try to smack my lips because it drives him fucking mad.
It makes incandescent. I could kill someone just for eating a bag of crisps.
That sounds like my wife when I'm eating.
Yeah.
There you go, let the cat out the bag. There you go. Anyway.
Right. Okay. Sorry, Tom. Go on. You was in full flow there. Sorry, mate.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I don't want to give Kudus a donkey because I thought he was actually trying to get at their back line, trying to beat some players, trying to make some things happen. Okay, it didn't work out for him today because he had no support whatsoever, basically. So I'll give him the bare minimum to avoid giving him a donkey because I don't think he deserves a donkey. So I'll just give him the 5, bare minimum 5.
5. No, that's fine. Do you know what? I think Kudus's work rate is always on point. Always on point. Similar to Bowen. Bowen's work rate is always on point as well. And it was a thankless task. I think he was the best of a very bad bunch today. And Antonio, who has been great for a long time, I don't blame him because he's a player that's 34 years old. He's going to get fatigued. He's going to get fucked. And when he's not right physically, he's going to be shit. And shit he was today. You know, he weren't holding the ball up at all. That's where a lot of our play was breaking down. Was through Mickey. It was, you know, he weren't collecting the balls. He weren't getting the right side of the defenders. He was shit, really shit today. He was bad. He was bad. I don't blame another one. I don't blame because I don't think Mickey Dan's tools. I don't think he does. No. I think that's just a player that just can't do it every 3 days.
I think what is it, Antonio? I've had a go at him because when I do my channel, I have to just look at the game and see what's going on. But the thing with The thing with Antonio is he's never wanted to play up front long term. He's just done it as a favor, and they've carried on with it. He's a winger or a sub, especially since the last 18 months ago, anyway, with the injuries. But he's just imagine your manager forcing you to do something you don't want to do for so long. Yeah. And I know I see him and I compare him to, for example, the Spurs guys pressing with the ball, pressing without the ball, and we get frustrated. He can't close anyone down, and we like to think defending starts from the top, things like that. So it's David Moyes, mate. He's made him like, you know, he tries his best, but the body, you know, he takes a lot of whacks and it's physical. And
he does, Jazz. As you said, even when he plays central, he gravitates wide. He does. He feels because he likes. I think he's good when he's got a run on someone. And although he can play that hold-up play, he can. He does it better than anyone. I don't think he's ever got the best out of him. I don't think it has. I think it's almost been probably a bit of a detriment to him, really. I don't know. He's the only one that can play that fucking stupid role. He was right what he said about Scamacca when he was here. When he made that comment in the podcast and he said Scamacca's not the right player. He's a good player, but to play for West Ham, you've got to feed off scraps. He was entirely right.
Yeah, because if you step into Scamacca's boots for a moment, you know, he's had his training in Italy and they play a certain way over there, and they play their whatever patterns they've been playing as he's been taught how to play football and movement. And
hang on, Gary, you look like you're trying to give yourself a blow.
Fuck you, Scott.
He's enjoying his pizza.
One more bit to go.
Fucking brilliant. Hurry up.
One more bit.
Greedy bastard. Right.
Don't swallow, Gary. Gary, don't swallow.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start with the. We'll go straight to Jazz. Go on, Maxwell Cornet. We'll start at the top.
Well, Maxwell Cornet, if we look at the stats, he came on. Let's have a look. So he came on after 85 minutes. So, I mean, I don't know what you usually give subs, like 5 minutes.
No, we normally, if they've done nothing bad, we normally just go a flat 6 average because there ain't really too much to say about them. Yeah.
I mean, like you said,
and can I just add as well? Because can I just add something as well, Jazz, before you give your rating?
No, you can't.
So bold.
Yeah, go on. Go on. Yeah.
I would not give a donkey to any of these like late
No.
subs that come on
No.
because it's Moyes who's chucked them on late, and they don't deserve a donkey because that's essentially us giving them a donkey because of Moyes bringing him on 80 whatever minute. What the fuck's he gonna do?
No, well, and you know what I said earlier on, what he did show, I think it was a through ball from Phillips. He did show some pace, and he got down on the left hand side, and he flashed a shot across goal.
Yeah.
I mean, Cornet is not shit. He was great at Burnley, wasn't he? He should have been used far more than what he's been used. We know that this has got personal now with David Moyes. It has, because he went back to France to get treatment as opposed to using the club doctors. But talk about cutting your nose off to spite our fucking face. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he wants to have a
dick.
small squad, and he still wants to be fucking petty about who he's going to use and who he's not.
Exactly. So you're going to go 5 or a 6, Jez?
I think with Cornet, before I do the rating, when he joined, I was very excited because on the back of a very good season with Burnley, he scored a lot of goals. He can play in 3 positions, left back, left winger, and he can play up front if it's 4-4-2 as well, and he did that. I don't know what's gone on. This could be like the Danny Ings where it's a Sullivan signing and he's just don't want to talk to him. You know, it's just ridiculous. I think in terms of the rating, I think average 6, like you said, he wasn't below average. He had a shot and he's got 2 more minutes than he normally gets. And I can't believe how he's still being professional. If I was him, I'd got in the car and legged it somewhere by now. I wouldn't keep turning up for training. But to be fair, he's not kicked up a fuss. He's training as far as we know. But the other thing, gentlemen, I don't know if you know a bit more than me.
You back on comments, Gal?
We can't sell him. Yeah. We can't sell him, can we, Nick? Is he never going to pass a medical with what he's got? I mean, that's another thing to talk about. Isn't it? I don't know, mate. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of us know the extent of what he's got wrong with him. Really, I think. I mean, he had it was a bit of a mystery. It still hasn't really been clarified what the fuck was wrong with him. It was obviously.
It's a lifelong, very rare condition, and medical. I don't know. I heard that Everton was sniffing at him and Danny Ings in January, so I don't know, mate.
I mean, wouldn't surprise you in the least if we signed a player who's got fucking spina bifida.
I don't know. I'd like to think there's that it's something to do with him losing focus because of what happened with the AFCON, because it was based in his own country.
Yeah.
Right. Moyes,
that was shit.
Just
he did.
2 weeks before the AFCON, 3 weeks before the AFCON, he came on as a late sub and he crossed for a winner by Souček away in Europe. Right. He looked like shit off a shovel. He really did. Right. He never got another minute before the AFCON. So it's like it was personal and deliberate. And I think he was distraught, apparently, because how many times in his lifetime, especially now he's 27, 28, it's never going to happen again in his lifetime in his own country. He's a proud, he's proud of his country, and Moyes completely. There's no passion. There's no empathy with Moyes. He doesn't give a fuck.
Careful, Gal. Don't start talking about how he feels about players and stuff.
They're just tools to him. When he looks at Lucas Paqueta, he doesn't see Lucas Paqueta, a Brazilian superstar. He sees him as nothing other than a piece that fits into the Stephen Pienaar role.
Okay, now we've had Gary noshing himself off, and now we've got Tommy playing with a pussy. Look.
Yeah.
Right.
Spiteful is the word. That's a great word, Amanda.
Yeah. But Gary, have a look at how he treats Calvin Phillips. Very different, isn't it? Very different, isn't it?
Well, because that's like what's his name, Lingard. This was the latter day Lingard. This was the deal that nobody else would have considered. To pay a fortune for someone that's sitting on the bench for a top club. No one would ever consider that. It's a genius move, right? Even I thought it'd be all right. I didn't think it'd be a Lingard because he ain't that kind of player. But fucking, I didn't think it'd backfire like this. My God, it's been horrendous. Worst buy ever.
Is that? Sorry, Gary. Is that Kenny? That cat? Is that Kenny?
No, Kenny, that little shitbag. He's out gallivanting. He comes home to get fed, and then he fucks off again. That's Shania.
Oh, Shania. Okay. Right, sorry, Gary, go on.
Yeah. So I completely lost my thread, but stop doing that to me. Stop doing that to me. What am I supposed to do? Thanks,
Nick's obsessed with my pussy.
Anyway, can we let Jazz mark fucking Cornet for God's sake?
I didn't know we were still doing play rates.
6, mate. Yeah, 6.
Right,
six,
okay.
6. Yeah, 6.
Fuck me. He's a sub. He only played 5 minutes.
Shut up.
Okay, right. For that, I'm just going to go 6 for 6 for Ings, and 6 for Cresswell. And we'll talk about Johnson because I think he was a man of the match when he came on. I was 6 for 500 grand a week and all.
Yeah, we drew 1-1 in the second half, so we didn't do bad, did we?
No, he was
I
fine.
didn't even think about that.
Right. Ben Johnson, I thought he looked good when he came on. Would you reckon? I'd say we go Tommy. We start at the top. I think he's the only one worth talking about.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I thought Ben came on and actually played quite well.
Yes, he is.
Had a really decent second half. This is another one that really annoys me because I think Moyes has fucking destroyed him. I really do.
Yes.
I've said numerous times. I don't want to be a parrot, but I'll say it very quickly. He came in as a very, very promising young right back who should have been developed under a proper manager, and who I believe would have developed into a very good right back, one who would be better than Sofal is now.
Yes.
And Moyes basically flogged him from pillar to post, used him when it suited him in whatever position he felt like using him, whether it was left back or wing back or central defence even, I think a couple of times.
The love button.
So as a young player coming into a side, trying to develop in your natural position, Moyes has turned him into this utility player who's a kind of jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And now has decided, he's not worth 50k a week.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, mate. When you look at the wage list that there's there at the moment, like people that like Ogbonna, who's been a great servant, but what he is now, when you look at the money he's on, you look at Danny Ings, 120 grand a week, and we can't give him. We've got to look at our homegrown quota. Johnson is probably going to be at Palace next year. Apparently, that's basically a done deal. So I'm told.
And it's a shame because it didn't have to be that way. And no. I think Moyes has destroyed him. If he does go to Palace, well, Godspeed. I wish him well there. Under who looks to be a decent manager and a good coach, and perhaps he can resurrect his career there. I wish it was with us. Who knows? If Moyes goes, maybe the new manager comes in and says, "Look, I'd like you to stay, and I will give you a fair crack of the whip."
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, and I'm not picking Steve Garner out, but we get this a lot. We get this with Johnson ain't good enough. We get that with Downs. Downs ain't good enough. So and so ain't good enough.
I don't know what they base that on.
No. But the thing is, what we're saying is that based on, I see, I'm willing to give any player that's in this squad and in this setup a clean slate once David Moyes is gone, because I just don't think he helps anyone. I don't think he helps anyone. He doesn't.
No. The thing with Johnson is, if you remember, left back, not picked again 5 games, centre back, not picked again in 10 games, right back, left back, shake it all about. Give the kid 10 games in right back. He's a right back, and you've messed around with him. But the other thing to be careful with the gentleman is every time there's a contract coming up, players do play a bit better than they normally would. And he has looked good, I get that. I'm just like a bit wary when people play so well when their contracts are up. He's in the window. He has been good, but whether we can rescue that.
I agree with that, but it shows he hasn't lost it. It shows he hasn't lost it, right? And when, like Tommy said, when he first came into the side, he looked fucking excellent, right? I think this has been systematic destruction of his game by Moyes. He's just used him as a spare part. Wherever he needs him, he'll put him in there, thinking he'll do a semi-reliable job. Just so happened the kid just lost his confidence because he had a few bad games out of position. He should have been fucking right back. Have you ever seen a 23-year-old not actually have a position yet? He's not even got a position.
No. Look. It is ridiculous. His versatility, and that's the thing. To pay an English player who's come for it. He's been at the club since he was 8. He's a thoroughly good player, thoroughly good squad player. I think we can all agree West Ham are not at the level where we can afford to have superstars sitting on the bench. Therefore, you need your Johnsons who can play in a multitude of positions. He is versatile. You need your Flynn Downs. I mean, when you look at this now, when you look at the way that we've struggled, you were saying earlier on, Jazz, you're concerned about Alvarez and his yellow cards. The reason you are concerned, ultimately, is because we know we're fucked if he ain't there. If you've got... Downs is such a capable CDM.
Yes.
Such a capable CDM. He really is. He could come in and fill a void there. He absolutely could. Well,
Johnson has quite a lot to recommend him. Whenever I watch him play, you think, right, he's big and strong. He's got some pace. He's got good feet. You know,
he's not a world beater, but he's a decent player. I think he's a decent player.
He's certainly a 50k a week squad player that could do a really good job for us.
Well, 50k is the average weekly salary at West Ham, so it's an average salary, right? We're not pushing the boat out. He's a senior player. He's 23. He's not a kid.
Should we give him a 7? I think he was man of the match. We'll just give him a 7 because he was.
It's fucking reckless for us to let a player like that go for zilch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's be honest, like, if we're going to replace him with a squad player, it's likely not going to be anyone better than him.
Exactly.
No, we could have got money for Creswell, even 5 million, and we didn't. And if you calculate, I don't know some of the things we do. I
know.
It's ridiculous, right? So we've done the players. Now we're going to do our tradition. Is to start off on Sullivan. Gary Sullivan. Have you got anything to say about Sullivan? Is he still a cunt?
He's absolutely still a cunt. I mean, he's torturing us. He's torturing us fans.
Yeah.
We know he doesn't like the fans, or doesn't really care what we think, because he's his toy and he'll play with it how he fucking likes. Well, he ain't liked it very much that hardly any season tickets. Record low numbers of season ticket holders have renewed because we don't like his poxy decision.
Yeah,
fucking, piss or get off the pot, mate. He's got to send him packing. He's got to turn this into a positive environment again. This fan divide is crap. Moyes has caused that. Again, not that he cares about a fan divide. Maybe it's useful to him. I don't know. But honestly, he could fix this. He shows no interest in fixing it. The only thing that Sullivan seems to be caring about at the moment, and this is where Moyes is so cute, is what the media are saying.
Yeah. No.
So he's an absolute cunt. Yeah.
He really is. He really is. And look, this is and Brady as well, because I'll put Brady in that bracket. They're like.
Oh, did you see an article? Did you see an article? Yeah, Sean fucking tweeted it from the Sun. I don't know what I'm supposed to take from this article, right? But it was from the Sun in a weekly column where she said David Moyes really wanted Cole Porter. I think
Cole Palmer.
Cole Porter. Yeah. She was saying that he was very like Jimmy Greaves and giving it all around. Oh, our manager David Moyes really wanted to sign him. Well, weren't that one of those that he couldn't guarantee game time to?
Yes, exactly. He's too young. He wouldn't have. I'll tell you what, Cole Palmer would not have been fucking a regular in this team. Even Cole Palmer wouldn't be. It's as simple.
They wanted him on loan, mate. That's the truth. They wanted him on loan.
Yeah.
And then we think about it at the end of the year, all that crap.
But he's that it just goes to show though, Brady is still in lockstep with Moyes in the PR campaign. I don't know how that's positive PR to say he really wanted a player that's doing great for Chelsea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I agree. Right now, look, I think we should go to our guests for Moyes because everyone's heard what I probably will get stuck in after. I'd say we'll go Tommy first. Tommy, tell me your thoughts on David Moyes in this game and just in general. Go on, get stuck in. Say what you want.
Look, we've seen this far too often.
Yeah.
I saw his post-match interview. Basically, just dug the players out. Like, nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
Of course not. Of course not.
Put the players out there, and they were atrocious, and they did nothing, and nothing to do with me. See, David Moyes acts like football just happens to him. Like it's nothing to do with him. He didn't cause anything; it just happens to him.
It's true.
It's so true.
And nothing's his fault, and all that, and it's fucking pathetic. He's completely deluded, and I just can't wait for the season to be over and for him to be gone. You couldn't possibly give him anything other than a 0 for today. Like I say, at half time, when you're in a massive hole and you bring on 2 defenders, I mean, what the fuck more can you say, really?
Well, he was just trying to prevent some sort of. He can't prevent embarrassment. I mean, we were killed in 30 minutes. The game was dead in 30 minutes with it.
Yeah, there's really nothing more to say about Moyes that hasn't already been said by me and anyone else on this channel many times. I'm just
we trying to say
like I just watched like normally, you go away, London Derby, someone like Palace, and you're getting stuffed. Normally, like I'd be absolutely fuming, but Moyes has got me to the point now where I just feel numb. I'm just completely defeated by this stuff because I see it happen and it's just like deja vu. It's like, here we go again. Another tonking. Seen it a few times.
There's been so many this season.
Yeah.
It's so many. I mean, it is fucking embarrassing, and there should have been so many more as well. I mean, like we said earlier on, like the amount of chances we've conceded on our goal. How many times this season do you think our goalkeeper has been man of the match in games that we've won?
Numerous times.
It's been ridiculous, isn't it?
Numerous times.
And to spend the money that he spent in 4 years, and to put it in perspective, Leverkusen's team that they've currently got was built over 5 years. They've got an average net spend of plus 10 million per year for the last 5 years, and that is a net result. David Moyes, so they've spent, I don't know what they've spent, but David Moyes' net spend in 4 years is 285 million. That's the difference.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question? Where do you, and this relates to something, one of the questions was just up here on statements. Where do you think we would have finished, bearing in mind what's happened this season, had he got his own way in the transfer market? We didn't get Kudus, we didn't get Alvarez, we signed McTominay and Maguire.
I think we'd have been looking at relegation.
I think so too.
I think we'd have been looking at relegation because we've been so lucky that we've had Alvarez. We've been so lucky that we've had Kudus. I mean, Alvarez was a revelation at the start of the season. Could you imagine a midfield three of Souček, Ward-Prowse and McTominay?
It's the worst midfield ever.
Could you imagine that?
And it just brings it home that if you want to talk about Dildo Beggins, fucking David Sullivan, it's a huge indictment on him and his running of the club that he has allowed this manager to spend the money he's spent to assemble the second oldest and thinnest squad in the Premier League.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Many players who will either walk out the door because they've retired or will go on a free transfer. Players who have no resale value. It's just money down the fucking drain.
You're absolutely right. Ultimately, the blame for all of this, for it being allowed to happen, does fall at the feet of Sullivan and Brady. It does. Because it's like this season, they've just allowed it to run and run and run. It was always going to peter out this season. Of course it was. It's taken longer than what I thought.
If someone's dog's running around the park fucking biting people all the time and it's going on day after day, yeah, the dog's the one doing the biting. But you look to the owner and say, will you get this fucking thing under control, please?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right.
And Sullivan and Brady have never gotten this under control.
They've never got it under control. So you've gone 0 for Moyes, did you, Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
0.
you've gone 0, right?
I'd give him a minus if I could.
You can give him a cunt if you want to. That's what I'm going to give him. But anyway, Jazz, go on. Over to you.
All right, here we go. House of the Parliament, ready for the speech.
Come on, neck your rum first. Go on and get stuck in. Get stuck.
Right. To all you. This has been my passion since last 24 months, I think, apart from not being much on the pitch. But to all you guys out there that are not West Ham or not listening or not watching TalkSport, I don't care about any other club. I don't follow any other club, and I ain't got much knowledge about any other club. West Ham is my club. Yeah. And West Ham is claret and blue blood. It's history, it's family, it's playing football the right way, attacking football. There's a comment out there from Trevor Brooking and even people like John Lyle saying it's our duty. We can't control the results, and it's not foremost important sometimes. We've got to play football the right way and entertain the fans. Their hard-earned money at whatever they work at the docks and the factories, wherever, working class culture, the root, the history. When on a Saturday, we've got to give them the entertainment, and they go away with 100% effort, willingness, tackles flying in. So you had the Billy Bonds physical side, leaving it all out there, and the Trevor Brooking art, skill, culture. This is West Ham. To all the people out there that don't know the West Ham way, academy football, we didn't dream it up. We didn't make it up. It's there. It's the history. The 1966 World Cup goes all the way back to Ted Fenton, goes all the way back to kind of John Law, Ron Greenwood. Ron Greenwood was a coach at Arsenal, never managed the club before he came to West Ham. He followed the Puskas Hungarian team. Puskas, I believe, went on to play for Real Madrid. They won 5 European Cups. He's playing football out the back. John Law, Ron Greenwood did things on the pitch. Machiavelli mentions it, that they're all copying 20 years later. The near post corner, the near post cross, going this way, that way, playing from the back. People say, oh, the game's gone quicker. Go to 1985-86, put any video on and have a look at how our fullbacks are playing. From the kickoff, they're playing like wing backs. You can't believe it. The stamina, the continuous running, trying to attack, trying to win. So this is West Ham. Going back to Sullivan, he's 75 years old now, I think. He bought the club for 105 million, gentlemen. Newcastle was sold for about 300 million, 350 tops. Yep. Right, so we don't have a go at Mike Ashley. He left the club debt-free. He couldn't pump in the money, and he gave the keys to Saudi Arabia, the country, call it what you want, to bring it onto the next stage. I think owners have definitely spoken to West Ham about a chance. He wants 700, 800, 900 million for West Ham.
Yeah,
he paid 105, and when Krotensky money went into the club, a lot of that went back to paying the loans that Gold, rest in peace, and Sullivan put into the club. So even if this shareholder's going to come in, because Sullivan hasn't got enough money to put in, or he doesn't want to do it, he runs it like a corner shop.
It's all these money's tied up in property, Jazz. It ain't. He hasn't got. There's no cash.
Yeah, he's got that big building in Oxford Street. I think House of Fraser.
Really sorry, chaps. I've got to pop off, but
no worries, mate.
Appreciate
Cheers,
you,
Tommy.
Cheers.
And Jazz, great to see you, mate, and you too, Gary.
Tommy, your Twitter message was funny when he had me chuckling about that guy.
What's that?
You remember the message on Twitter about that guy? He gave you that funny response. Do you remember on Twitter a couple of days ago?
Oh yeah, that was fucking weird. That was. Listen, appreciate it, chaps, and hopefully we get to talk to you all again.
Cheers for coming on, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
Mate.
See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate. But go on, Jazz.
Yeah, so basically, he's wants 900 million for West Ham. We don't even own our own ground. We got very basic training ground. Absolutely ridiculous. The right man would double his money, give the keys if he really cared about the club. TalkSport, Gary, actually think he's a West Ham fan when he isn't. They go, we know him.
I know, he's a Cardiff fan, isn't he?
They go, he cares so much about the club. These guys on the media are absolutely...
Sullivan cares nothing about anyone. Look into his past. The geezer, what he did when he was in that industry to, especially one particular actress.
Yeah, he ain't. It's not nice. It's not.
Nick, I tell you.
Then he made a film about it and made money out of it.
I know. Go on, Jazz.
Funny story, April Fool's Day, I fell for it. They said, Jazz, do you know that our new sponsors are Ann Summers and we're going to go pink shirts? So I fell for it. I was like, no, it makes sense because it's their company. But basically, 0 for Sullivan, mate. And David Gold, listen, he lived opposite the ground. I get it. Two very different people. Two different thoughts, and Gold kind of didn't have as much pushing the board as perhaps he thought he did, and things like that. Ill health. But listen, West Ham, all we wanted, have a look at the first half on Thursday. We drew, we went out the competition. Every single person in the ground applauded the team off the pitch. Yes. Right? This is West Ham. They keep thinking we want to win Europe. Of course we do, but it's not. That is not us. We're not West Ham fans. My dad was a West Ham fan in the 60s, 70s. It's all in the family, right? And we know what West Ham is. We are not like a lot of the people that are into trophies. Obviously, trophies are nice, but we're not in it for that in the long run.
Why we do it,
it's football first. I think I've said it before, and with West Ham, I think it's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. It's all about, the game is important, and we saw that the other day. And the game the other night, I've said it so many times now. What that was, it wasn't even pretty football. We just saw application, aggression, everyone united, and that's all you want sometimes. And not. But also played the right way, further up the pitch. We was aggressive. We was pegging them back. They didn't know what the fuck to do. It was one of those games, Jazz, where it was like, no, you're on our fucking turf now. And we took the game to them in that first half, and everyone connected and got behind it. That's all we expect.
But what it is, Nick, I got emotional because I wanted to be there, and I nearly got emotional on my show because
I did that night. Yeah,
it's my family, it's my blood, and I'm like, you're not there because of Moyes, and I thought, And when you know when your family's having a party and you're not there, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
mate.
Oh yeah.
I know.
I'll tell you what, right? It was a privilege to be there the other night, and going back to being pegged back for all your pegging equipment. David Sullivan still runs that little old pawn shop that he had. He keeps it out of, keeps it for old time's sake.
He does. But Jazz, David Moyes, what are your thoughts on the man, the myth, the cunt that is David Moyes?
Right. When Sam Allardyce came in and David Moyes came in, I will stick to my guns. They were the right people to come in at that time. They're very good at one thing, which is, if you're struggling at the bottom, we'll shore it up. We'll get you a bit fit. We'll get you organised and make sure we don't go up. But what the board didn't recognise is after 2 years, same with Sam, same with David Moyes, you should have moved on to the next step. Thank you very much. Handshake. Just have a bit of balls about you. He's done something for you. You paid him money. Let him go now. Because then they stay on that same wavelength, Nicky. But what surprised me about Moyes is he should have been very, very thankful that in his late stage of career management, he got a club like West Ham, and then he should have tried to have understood the culture of how we should be playing, get to know what the fans are about, even though they're training ground, they don't talk to anyone anyway. Go on a day's chat with Heath, you could walk in with a pen and paper, have a chat with the manager, the players. So that's why they're so detached. A lot of the players are detached from the club, understanding anything like that. So with David Moyes, it's about good that he came in when he did, and he kind of taken us away from the relegation fears, even though we were quite close last year. People forget we finished 14th, but only on the back of a flurry of wins and points at the end of the season. We mustn't forget that. And he spent the most money any manager has. He's got the most backing any manager has. And don't forget, in the modern world, when a manager's been in charge 3-4 years, 8, 9, 10 transfer windows, that's a long time. You look at Postecoglou at Spurs, what he's done in 2 transfer windows, how he's changed the whole culture around Mourinho, Conte playing careful football. And you remember the Tottenham thing, Chelsea, down to 9 men. They went for the win with 9 men, everyone.
And a lot of people were mocking that, but you know what? They did get clapped off the pitch because you know what? They were going to fucking lose that game anyway. Why not go out fucking fighting? Do you know what I mean? Give it a go. To be fair, they almost pulled a shock there a few times. They did, in that game. And I think with football, in general, I think fortune does tend to favour the brave.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, when we won the Euro conference in the final, I think we were the second best team in the final. There's facts out there.
Also, look, you remember back to Frankfurt, the second leg when we were 2-0 down in aggregate, right? What was the only... The whole idea of a cup game is to get through. I just dribble down myself.
Oh my God.
That's all right.
That's disgusting.
He caught it, though. He caught it. That's the main thing.
The only thing we had to do was the only option we had in that game was to go for it, was to try and pull it back, was to commit men forward, was to literally be ruthless, reckless, and try and win the game. Because if you lose 5-0, it don't fucking matter. Same result, you're out of the tournament. He literally put us in defensive mode at 2-0 down and tried to limit the damage.
Yeah, it's what he does. It's what he does.
Gary, if I told you,
prick, he really is.
But Gary, if I told you 4 years ago, last Thursday, quarterfinal, European, whatever, we got Antonio up front, Creswell fullback, you'd be saying, no way, that can't happen.
Yeah.
So 9-10 transfer windows later, don't forget, a lot of those windows at the beginning, he didn't sign anyone, right? So don't forget, in lockdown, we missed out on Champions League by 1 point because he refused to buy a backup for Declan Rice. He got Lingard over the line. So by buying in January, he found out how much it helps you. It propels you.
Yeah.
But the following transfer windows, no, I don't want to do it. No, we got enough.
He also bought Souček and Bowen in January.
He doesn't want any. He sees. Do you know what? This is a thing, right? To compete at the top, right? So fair enough. We're not competing at the top. So to compete on all fronts, you need a squad. So if you want to compete in all of the league, even if it's just the domestic competitions, but we had Europe as well, you need a sizable squad. But you know what? The reason that you do need a big squad is because you need players, you need competitions. Competition is healthy in a squad environment. You need players looking over their shoulder, going, fuck me, he's trying to take my place. That is what you need. You need that. That's a winning mentality. And David Moyes came out and said, big squads cause problems because he likes to build this tight-knit little circle of players that have got their spaces. They're guaranteed on the football pitch. He doesn't. It's so piss weak for such a grumpy, narcissistic wanker like he is, who don't care about the fans, he is a piss weak manager. He can't manage people.
It's not even football matches. Every transfer window is a fucking stress and pain point for all of us. And going back to Gary's dribble, Gary would never have dribbled if we had a normal manager. We all mentally.
This is what he's doing to me.
He's dribbling. I'm on my
turning me into a dribbling wreck.
He's dribbling.
Turn Jazz to drink. Jazz is drinking himself to death. Look. I don't know what Nick's doing. What are you doing?
No,
Nick?
I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking yet. But Jazz, give me a stall for fucking McCunt chops anyway.
Yeah, just zero, mate.
Zero.
Just zero,
right.
mate. And I was saying, Nick, it's so bad of me to say this. If I ever saw him in the future on a road, I wouldn't even talk to him. I wouldn't even talk to him.
No, I wouldn't.
It's sad. It's bad for me to say that.
I would dearly love to be one of the journos in a post-match interview. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just love that?
The press conferences are soft, Gary.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Jazz, how you can wind him up. It's just be mildly critical, right? Be mildly critical.
Just ask him a fucking question.
When he pushes back on it, stick to your fucking guns and push it home.
Yeah.
Build on it. Why you want to know the answer, right? He's just he seems to embarrass journos so easily.
Well, Nick, do you remember one of those fluky wins? I think it was Arsenal, TNT, Rio Ferdinand's there saying, "You're after number 9, aren't you?" He gave such a stuck-up, sarcastic comment.
Yeah.
Ha, 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 I don't think so. There's no number 9s out there for me. We'll have a look. The window hasn't even opened, and he's giving the fans this kind of response saying, everyone's after number 9, not only us. I don't think there's many out there. We'll have a look, but I think we're fine.
It makes your blood boil, right? It does make your blood boil. It really fucking does. The more it's been
one.
It's been look, Jazz. Look, at the end of the day, you've been through the mill since you've been doing your channel, and you know that is down to fucking David Moyes. You can't put it on no one else. You started to lose your passion for the game. You was kind of up here. You was angry. Then you weren't. Then you but what's happened is apathy has started to set in with you with this, and it has with so many fucking people. It drains the life out of you, and then it makes me laugh when people it's like today. How can we really sort of criticise the fucking players today? I know they're getting paid a fortune for it, but it's bad enough us watching it. Imagine if you had to work in that environment. Do you know what I mean? If you had to work with him, it would be impossible. It would be. I couldn't do it. You know, you got to.
I'm doing things, Nick, like last weekend, the league game. I didn't watch the second half. I've never done that. I'm going to cut the. I've never done things like that. And I had a ticket for Thursday, Nick. I gave it to my son's friends.
That's why you
Row
crying.
6.
Yeah.
No, but I would never do that. I would never do that.
Mate, I've had it myself. I've said it to Gary. I've actually.
Not Amanda.
I've had. No, she goes. You've been sent to bed again.
She's going to bed or not. You've been sent to bed.
I've had 2 tickets this year where I've not gone. I can't face it. That when I've been over there, I think I've been to the least games this year I've ever been in my life. You know, I've been to more away games than I've been home. Yeah. It's just shit. It really is shit. I don't like it. Anyway, look, short intermission before we go on to the phone calls. Just my thoughts on David Moyes, just because I want to milk this video, really.
Well, I'd say that what MD's getting here with me is a very experienced Premier League manager. Arguably, there's only 2 or 3 who've got more experience, games in the Premier League. I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win.
Ah, fuck, I've gone and pissed myself. What do I look like covered in this? I look like a fucking loser drenched in piss. I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I went and pissed myself. At least I'm not lost all self-respect until now, because oh fuck, I've gone and shit myself. Well, would you look at this? I'm all covered in piss and shit. Just earlier I was looking swell, but by golly now I smell, and that's too bad because I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I shit and pissed myself.
There you go. He did. He shit. He's pissed himself this season. Anyway,
brilliant.
That's
absolutely
it.
Brilliant.
Got to milk that.
Oh, dribbling going on as well. A bit of dribble there as well, Nick.
Let's get this out of the way, Nick.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew,
Oh.
pew.
Jazz has had a few rums now. Come on, Jazz, give us a pew pew. Come on.
I can't do it.
Try harder,
Pew,
Jack.
pew,
Jazz,
pew.
come
I'm
on.
not good at
Pew
it.
pew. He ain't gonna do it. He refuses.
pew.
He's got too much class for pew pews. See?
Come on, Jazz. I'll struggle with it. Help me out.
I know. Right. Okay. Gary, I'm going to give you a test call. 1 minute.
Oh, all right. Whatever. By the way, I was having an argument with. Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's not working. It's not working this end. Right,
I was having a chat with someone on Twitter last night because you know we get a lot of abuse. Well, one guy came on there and basically said,
Do we
"Why
get a lot
don't
of
you
abuse?"
guys let a Moyes in call up?" I said, "If you want to call in, call in."
Yeah,
I said,
please do.
I said, you know, it's all that. I said, you know, but because he was quite abusive, so I sort of said, "But if you're abusive, we'll just fuck you off."
Yeah.
And he went,
Well, yeah.
"Oh, so you won't let me have me say?" I said, "Yeah, come on, have a discussion, have a debate. But if you just get abusive, we'll just tell you to fuck off and we'll cut you off." He said, "Ah." So I said, "Look," I looked at him and I thought, it's an anonymous account with 300 followers. I said, "Why am I arguing with you? You only fucking created it last year."
It's not even a debate for me now.
No.
It's not. It's so dull.
But yeah, if you're Moyes in,
That's
please.
it. Okay.
If
you want to
Moyes
phone in
please,
now, phone
please
in.
call.
That's fine. I'll put the number
Please
up
call.
after.
We welcome everybody.
Ones who have got me number, give you a chance to phone in first. But no, look, that was. Is Amanda actually going to bed?
I don't know, but she's being sent to bed by several people.
Is she?
Night, Amanda. Amanda.
It's pizza food poisoning for Amanda. Hope she's
There we go. God, Gary ain't missing the boat this week. He was fuming he didn't get on last week.
Yeah,
Fuming.
he's straight in there, number one.
Straight in there. Gary.
She ain't going to bed. She ain't going to bed.
Yeah, not
All
Amanda.
right, let us know when you go to bed, Amanda.
Oh, Gary's at it now. Night,
Hello,
Amanda.
Gary.
Hello, Nick. Hello, Jess.
Hello, mate. Hello, mate. You all right?
Hello, mate. Fine. Right, where do we start? I think this scene.
Have you
West Ham up.
have you seen enough, Gary? Have you seen enough?
Yeah. Nick, I watched it. I mean, after Fulham last weekend, the game today and the game in between, you know, the European game.
Yeah.
What a contrast in performance! I was worried about today, to be honest with you. And this is what happens. You know, even the biggest Moyes fan in the world out there. You know, you look at it now. When you're in Europe, Thursday, Sunday. Not only can you not have a small squad, you can't have an 18 squad. You know, it's just
That's the big one. That's the big one. To have it small and old, like Antonio.
Yeah.
How can you with the role that he has to play? How can you expect him to keep doing it every 3 days?
It's ridiculous, Nick. But why has it been allowed to happen? We've got no alternative now. Like today, Antonio, you've got Ings coming on. He can't play the system. And for the second week running, we've blown a chance to go 6. Because I know the team's got games in hand in us, but Chelsea's games in hand. They've got Tottenham and Arsenal, 2 of those.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee they're going to win them games. But I'm just so fucking furious with it all, really, to be honest with you. I mean, it was just, obviously, it does help Palace when they've had a week off and we've played Thursday. But even so, there's no excuse today. The defending was like absolutely. I couldn't believe it. 30 minutes. I didn't know what was happening.
Well, so even Fabianski was having a mare, wasn't he?
Sorry, hang on a minute. Gary, Gary,
Yeah,
sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
We asked for some Moyes in callers, right? And we've got a couple of people who are asking for the number. So Nick, put your number up. We'll test this out.
No, let me take a couple of calls first, and then I'll put the number up because
Right,
it goes.
so
and you know I lose my temper.
Yeah,
when
so if
people
you're,
start phoning
if you're
in all the
Moyes
time.
in, if you're Moyes in, save yourself. Go another couple of callers. Number will go up, and we'll open the line for you.
By the way, I will not answer a withheld number. So
no withheld numbers. It must be a real number.
I'll dump you like you've
faceless anonymous Twitter accounts. You've got to be honest with your number.
You'll get dumped, probably not for the first time in your life. All right, right,
I'll tell you what, Nick. What really summed it up from the state we're in, the mess we're in.
Yeah.
The last 2 games, Fulham and Palace, they're both in the bottom half of the table. We're chasing a top 6 spot, and they've got better bench than we have. They're bringing players on. Like last week, they brought on.
Do you remember the Fulham game where they they brought on fucking Brozier and Traore after they'd already brought on 3 or 4 players? You're like, what?
Yeah,
Jimenez on the bench. Yeah,
mate. Honestly, that was when I really.
How can this? Well, see, much as we want to slag Moyes off, and I do. I mean, I really am fucking sick of it now.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have been allowed to happen. There should have been. I mean, you can't let 3 or 4 players go and bring one in. He's not even fit.
But Gary, look, we know for a fact that David Moyes has a clause written into his contracts that does say that he has final sign-off on all of the players that come into the club. And yes, people, this type of thing does exist because Alan Curbishley had something similar, and he actually took the club to fucking court and sued them. So it is common, you know. When you think about it, when David Moyes signed his contract extension, his stock was high. It was after the Lingard season. He was in a position of power. He would have been able to negotiate whatever the fuck he wanted because Sullivan had already dumped him once. He's brought him back, and as far as he's seen, he's performed a miracle. So he played hardball. He got good terms.
But the thing is, Nick, this all goes back to the transfer window. And not only this transfer window, it goes back to the transfer window 2 or 3 years ago when we got to the semi-final. It's done exactly the same thing. We're in a great position. We just needed to bring 2 or 3 players in so you can rotate a bit, and they've done it again. You can't. I mean, to do it twice is unforgivable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just can't get around that.
Hang on, I just want to comment on this as well. Garino, I'm sorry, mate, but you're going to be getting so many fucking stories. One thing that we know about David Moyes is that you know when he's lying. You know when he's lying because his mouth moves. He's going to be putting out so many counter stories, absolving himself of all blame now. He's admitted in the Standard saying he wants a small squad. That he said it so many times after the January transfer window after the last Europa League one a couple of years ago. Do you remember we was fuming and he came out and gave a grovelling public apology absolving Brady, Gold. He went through all of them. Do you remember it? Do you remember he fucking sat there and he went through all of them and he said, no, it was all my fault. It was my decision. He's done it again. He's done it in this window.
But that thing from Garino just there, who would Brozier, who's been average where he went, who would he have replaced? Tell me.
Yeah.
The thing with Brozier is we've been after him for 2 years. He actually was in his primary school class with my daughter. He's from Berkshire, from an Albanian family. He plays for Albania. But apparently David Moyes said, I'm not sure about him now. So that was the truth. But even when he goes on Fulham on the last day of the window for a fairly cheap deal, it still kicks you in the stomach thinking, because you remember, Nick, they flew the helicopter for the Sevilla, the Moroccan forward, didn't they? We've been chasing him for 4 transfer windows. And then what the hell?
And the thing is, Jez, I mean, Brozier would have fit the system far better than Ings does. You know, as a backup. You know what I mean?
Do you remember when we played Southampton in the FA Cup and he scored the equaliser, didn't he? When Ward-Prowse was it? Yeah. He looked all right. Listen, he needs to score more goals in his game.
Last season, in the league game at home, he looked an handful. Well, he runs the channels. He's strong. And to have him on the bench, if you're going to give Antonio luck today, you'd have brought Brozier in. Perfect.
Yeah.
Brozier would have been another Calvin Phillips.
One second. Garino, I'm not saying that the ITK is lying. I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm saying absolutely he's probably been fed this. The same as a lot of these stories, but they only know what they're fed. If a friend of David Moyes says what David Moyes has said to him, at the end of they know what they're doing. They do. He does know what he's doing. It's all going to be about. He's obviously desperate about keeping his reputation, his stock high, because he wants to get another job. He ain't going to take any blame for what's happening at West Ham this year, even if it is his fucking fault. He's not going to do it. He really ain't.
I'll tell you another thing, Nick. Paqueta's going to be going. You know, I've had enough. I mean, I know you like Paqueta, but he's great when he's on it. He's great.
He's checked out. He's checked out.
Nick, I was just going to say something. We get 85 million for him. I'm pleased because I saw a player today that I like Eze. We've been asking him a couple of years ago. Get Eze in. To be far better for us, I think.
Yeah, look. At the end of the day, with starting in there at the moment, I'll be honest with you, I would have worried before. I always used to panic whenever we lost a top player before. But Tim Stein has proved what he can do with 100 million. You know, Kudus, Alvarez. He's proved what he can do. So I actually don't mind. I don't mind if we lose Paqueta. It doesn't bother me. I'm pretty certain that Stein will replace him and then some.
I'll tell you what, actually, I was something interested on the radio the other day, talking about the English teams this week in Europe and how poor we've all been. And he was saying, I think Stan Collymore it was, and he said, the trouble with the Premier League is so intense compared to the other leagues that, like, for example, he said, you know, they're playing like midweek. He said, and obviously, for example, I think the French side, Lille, will play Villa in the conference. Some of these leagues, they actually put the fixtures back and rearrange it so the teams get a break in between. The Premier League never do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you think about it, You think that there's different in quality and standards of the Premier League to the other leagues?
Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, Aston Villa played, 3 days ago. They would have won 3-1 today. Arsenal the same. They was playing as well.
Yeah.
It's look when you're in the Premier League, you get Premier League money. That means a Premier League club should be going out there buying Premier League squads big enough to go and take on the opposition. It isn't. We can't go pissing and crying about the Premier League and the organisation because we haven't managed our squad properly. We haven't managed our squad properly. Like you just said, it's bad enough it being small, but it being old, that is pathetic management across the board. To be at this stage after 4 years. I mean, do you remember probably 3 years ago, he started harping on about the Red Bull model.
Yeah. To try to, I remember that. Yeah,
I think the good thing is. Sorry, Gary.
Sorry, I think the good thing is we've got Stein in there now. Get rid of Moyes now. Get rid of some of these older players. We need to clear out, and then obviously get Stein and brings the right players in. Paqueta's going to be gone. We've got to keep Kudus and Bowen. We need some more legs in midfield for a start. You can see that we just need the legs in there, and we've definitely got to get. We need at least 7-8 players, maybe more. I mean, you think any players are going to be leaving this year?
No.
Squad players, that is.
Do you think that his plan to buy those two fucking McTominay and the other geezer from Man United? My theory on that, Gary, is that he was buying them because he could see what a state the squad was in, and literally by the end of this season, he would be the only manager who could get a tune out of those players.
Yeah.
And it would have cost us 80 million to bring those to us.
It would have. Just very quickly.
What can Stein get for that money?
Hang on, Gary, one quickly. The Red Bull model is essentially buying young players in at the right time before other people buy them. You grow them into expensive assets. You've already got their successor coming through because you've already recruited them, which is what Brighton do. And then you sell them to some idiot like Chelsea for 80 million, like the geezer Cucurella. They didn't even miss him when he went. That is a Red Bull model. It's a business. That's what Leverkusen have done.
It's different to the Moneyball model where they sign players even who are late in their career because they've got optimum value for cheap price. Yeah.
But if this is the model we're going to follow, which looks like the case, the one question for me to you, Nick and Gary, is that a strong manager, established manager, I think that model requires a kind of a coach, not a proper manager like what used to do. But then what type of manager are we going to attract who's prepared to?
Every manager in the Premier, pretty much in the Premier League today and throughout Europe, are just first team coaches.
De Zerbi is a coach.
Yeah, he is. De
Zerbi is a coach. So
Frank as well, maybe, Nick.
But what you got to think of, like we said before, when you had the structure, which was Sullivan, and then you had Moyes underneath him, Moyes runs the whole lot. So coaching the team is almost a small part of his job because there's a lot in running a football club, especially a Premier League one. Whereas now, so what you end up with is this jack of all trades. Now, what we can do is we can go out and get a fucking specialist coach who knows how to coach the team, and also somebody that can maybe identify when centre-backs falling apart and substitute them after 27 minutes, like we saw Alonso do the other day. He saw straight away, he's fucked. We've got to get him off. I know it's harsh, but he's got to come off.
That's right.
He was, know?
Yeah. I mean, this is a frustrating thing. Liverpool are out, and if we'd have got past Leverkusen,
you'd have to fancy us.
We could have gone all the way.
You'd have to fancy us, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, what frustrates me as well is when you hear the players this week, like you said earlier, Nick, and Ward-Prowse and Antonio, we showed them too much respect in that first game.
So they didn't agree with the tactical approach. No. They didn't agree with it over there, and they didn't agree with it because you know what? And you would be, but you would be frustrated because I've said before, right? I said after that game, I did a show, and I said, how do you convince a team? Because they really bought into that. What I will say, when we went away to Leverkusen, those players that were on the pitch really fucking tried to implement that plan. They did. And I said, how do you convince a team of players to do that? And the only way you can do that is through fear. Is convincing them that that's the only thing that you can do. They're too good. They're too good. You've got to sit back. You've got to block. That's what we've got to do. So I reckon
you know what?
It must be so frustrating, to be a player.
And the thing is, as much as everyone's like bigged up Leverkusen, that first half they didn't know what hit them. They couldn't
No.
handle us. They couldn't handle Antonio, Kudus. They couldn't handle the old pace of the game.
We
Crowd.
would have done
Try
them.
and
We
put that
would have
stuff
beaten
away.
them both legs. We would have done
Yeah.
it. I'm
Yeah.
100% right. We would have beaten them
I
if we
agree.
set up the right way.
I know. I agree. I agree with you.
Let me ask you a simple question because, and I do always make this reference, right? But this squad of players that we've got at the moment, if like say for instance, we'd have kept Benny, would have kept Fornals, would have kept Downs, maybe would have added another striker as well. If you'd have had the right manager that would have accepted these players, where do you reckon someone like Emery would have taken us this season?
Fourth.
Well, Villa are now. Fourth.
There you go. So what I'm saying is, where on earth is the argument in retaining this man? Where has it ever been in retaining this man, really? Because it is sentimentality. You can't go, we're keeping Ogbonna out for sentimental reasons, but then say it's all right to keep Moyes. That bloke's fucking holding us back. Jazz was right. When he came in, he was the right man. I've said that myself. Our running stats were low. We weren't fit. We needed a Sergeant Major to come in, blow a whistle, get them all fit. He done his job, kept us safe. That's when he should have been moved on.
But Nick, right? Nick, Gary, when have you ever heard of a team being relegated in December, right? Because that is when Moyes came in after 50% of the games have been played. He bought Bowen and Souček on loan in January, and then he acquired exactly the same number of points in the second half of the season as Pellegrini did in the first half. So where exactly did he save us? Where did he do this miracle fucking turnaround?
He saved us last season from his own fuck up because I thought we was getting relegated after that Newcastle.
But people always say that. They say Pellegrini comes in, that was a disaster. All right, he spent a fair bit of money in the first season and finished 10th, but it was good football to watch.
Like what Moyes has spent.
Right, the second season, if you remember, Sullivan gave him fuck all. He ended up with Roberto in goal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then in January, he suddenly finds money for fucking Bowen and Souček. Right,
I know.
So bollocks to all that. I don't even buy that first season. He's done one good season for me, and that is the COVID season.
Yeah, I completely. But Gary, what we're going to do? We're going to try and keep these calls short, mate, because we think there's going to be quite a lot coming in. So wrap it all up.
One last thing.
Wrap it all up. Come on.
One last thing, and getting back to Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Sum it up in a nutshell about how good they're supposed to be, and our first half performance. Karabag and Freiburg both nearly beat them. They both scored 2 goals against them.
I agree.
And that puts it in perspective, end of the day. It puts it in perspective there and then. We could have won that tie.
Listen, they've won a lot of their games this season late, hence Leverkusen. You know, they haven't necessarily blown teams away for 90 minutes. They haven't done that consistently. You know, they've been... You know, they play good football and he's a good manager. But anyway, look, I'm going to ask you a question now before you go. Would you sack Moyes tonight?
Well, maybe, yeah, because we've still got 4 games. I don't know whether it make any difference now or not, but yeah, I've had enough of it now. I'm sure everyone has.
Yeah, so
you know, I'm sure everyone has, you know.
It'd make a difference to me and Nick. I fucking have a barbecue tomorrow. Fuck that.
Mate, I'm getting an open up bus. I am.
No.
By the way, Gary, what was the pizza you had?
Oh, well, it was interesting actually. I didn't want a normal tomato base. It's only a little one, but it was a barbecue. It was a barbecue sauce base, and it had green chilies and jalapenos, everything to make.
Don't ever do that again.
It was
dribble
nice.
and mushroom. It's a new one. Dribble and mushroom. It's a new one.
I had mushrooms on there actually. I had mushrooms, bit of ham, bit of beef.
Nick, about people eating noises. What is it? You don't like it?
I've always had it. Honestly, I can't fucking stand it. It's the mouthful chewing and breathing.
Especially that, Gary.
It makes me near homicidal. It does. I can't stand it.
He watched a video of mine once, Gary. He watched a video of mine once. He said it's a good video.
I had my headphones
you stop going.
Yeah, fuck off.
I'm doing half of it. I know I am. Me and Gary are the good pair. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go. Nice to talk to you, Jazz, and you, Gary, Nick, and great
Cheers,
show
Gary.
tonight. We think we all need this.
Lovely, yeah. I think we do. Thanks very much, Gary. Right now, before anyone else calls in, very quickly, because we've got peak numbers, so it's only right. Jazz, talk about your channel, please, mate.
Yeah, West Ham Irons channel. So yeah, just Google it on YouTube. Been going for a couple of years and used to go on all the other channels. So yeah, West Ham Irons channel. Follow me. Same pain. Let's share it.
There you go. I've
got to say though,
share the pain.
I don't watch many channels, but I've watched a couple of Jazzy's videos this week, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Absolutely. Especially, I really like the one your take on the Sam Allardyce and Stuart Pearce one. That was good.
Yeah. You went to a lot of detail. You watched the whole video.
I've got to watch the whole thing.
He watched the whole video and commented on it.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of what he said in my video.
I do watch Tippy Tappy because of the Warburton video. Yeah. So I found it quite interesting because I used to laugh at Warburton, calling Warburton bread. You're thick. You don't even look like a coach. But when I found out a lot about him, that he actually very, very clever guy, ex investment banker, a lot of money, made friends with Moyes in Dubai or Miami, Florida, something like that.
And then worked with him and realised he was a cunt, basically.
But brave enough, Nick, the only coach to leave to actually be brave enough to say, I don't agree with the way he sets up. I didn't want to mess up the friendship, and I could have earned money doing nothing. I'm glad he said that. Good luck to him. Yeah, he said it.
Right.
Yeah,
that is good. Right, phone lines open again. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to phone in for anyone who's got my number. If not, I better take my phone off. Fucking do not disturb. Hang on.
Right, Moyes inners. Any of you Moyes inners
Try
out
again.
there who fancy a go? Don't hide your number.
I'm not going to put my number up yet. I'm going to take one more call and then put my number up.
One more call. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Because it's going to go fucking mad if I put my number up. Yeah, look, here we go. Right.
Stand by your beds, Moyes inners.
Hello there. Who are we talking to? You're on Claret and Booze.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well. What's your name? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Right. Hold on. Let me go in the kitchen. Quick go in the kitchen. Right. Right. Let's turn off. Sorry. Right. So I'm Karen from Portsmouth.
Hello, mate.
So I'm obviously a Pompey fan.
Yeah.
However, if I've got I've had debates with friends of mine about this, because if I've got a Premier League football team, mine's West Ham.
Yep.
Ah, lovely.
So I'm very much, and I've had this argument with a mate of mine who likes Arsenal. I'm very much, and I'm with you lot, Moyes out. Now, people turn around and say, who can West Ham get as a manager? Well, I don't know if you've seen, obviously, unless you've been under a rock, what Portsmouth have done this season.
I'll be honest, I haven't. What have they done this season?
Right. We had a new manager that came in at the very beginning, who is now 37, nearly 38 years old. He gave up playing football last season as a player, came in as a first manager, came into League One, and has got us up as champions.
Wow.
Oh, fucking
we
hell.
have.
Congratulations.
Exactly. We have lost. Thank you. We lost one game in 5 months.
Yeah.
So when there's people that turn around and say, "Who can you get more?"
What's his name? Just out of interest.
John.
Come on, don't fall over on his name.
John Mourinho.
Oh, right. John Mourinho.
Because there's a song. There's a song out at the moment saying, "Who needs Jose Mourinho? We've got John Mourinho."
Yeah, brilliant.
I wonder if he's on Tim Stighton's list. We might take him off you. You don't know. He's a good up and comer.
But what I'm getting at is, though, when people turn around and say, "Who can West Ham get?" There's nobody out there. You know, there is people out there.
It's bullshit. It's so lazy.
Exactly.
It's lazy. And look at what he's had to fucking deal with. You know, look at the players that he's had. I mean, how many? He almost got us relegated with Paqueta and Declan Rice in the midfield last year. Fucking hell.
But, I mean, I would say, obviously, I'm not a West Ham like you lot. Obviously, I don't bleach Claret and Blue, but obviously, I like West Ham a lot. Obviously, I watch every game that you lot have on. I watch every podcast you boys do. So, yeah, I didn't realise I had your number. I was going through my phone, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have got their number. So, yeah, it's one of them where I'm like, scrolling through it.
We gave Portsmouth. Remember 92, 93 season? You had Guy Whittingham, didn't you, up front? Do you remember him, Guy Whittingham?
Yes.
Up front.
Yeah.
We were fighting to go up, weren't we, into the Division 92, 93 times with Portsmouth back in those days? I think Gary remembered it.
Traditional club, innit?
Yeah.
I like Portsmouth.
Yeah,
I like Portsmouth. They're a bit more real to me than Southampton. Southampton are a little bit off the shelf.
I'm looking forward to that for next season. Cardiff played well yesterday.
Actually, I want to ask you one question. What do you think about Harry Redknapp? I just want to ask you that.
Oh, good one.
See, you're allowed to say the C-bomb on this one, aren't you?
Yeah, you can say what you want. Yeah.
See, for me, he's an absolute cunt.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Correct.
What? Right. Look, right. If I know obviously you lot don't like Moyes, and I understand the reason why.
Yeah.
But if you liked Moyes, so for argument's sake, you loved Moyes. For argument's sake, hypothetically speaking, right? You was a lover of Moyes, and then he went to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, and then went back to you. You know what I mean? It's like,
You're turning
do
me
you know
on
what I mean?
now.
It's a bit
David
like
Moyes,
Alex
man,
Ferguson. No, but do you know what I mean? It's a bit like
Say
Alex
it again,
Ferguson going
say it
to
again.
Liverpool. But do you know what I mean, though? But it's a bit like, do you know what I mean? It's a bit like Alex Ferguson going to Man City or Liverpool and then coming back. Do you know what I mean? You don't go to your biggest rival.
Yeah.
No,
You
absolutely.
don't go to your biggest rival. It's for me. I'm like that's the. I mean, all right, yeah, you relegated them and you got us up, and you got only won us an FA Cup. But I'm like,
But you think,
let's be honest, in the FA Cup, who did we actually play?
But you think Twitchy's a cunt, basically. That's what you say.
Oh yeah, he's an absolute. Yeah, I wouldn't stop him if he was on flames.
Well, he basically put you out of business, didn't he?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's
In
one
exchange
of
for an
the
FA Cup.
nails. I mean, our owner bought us, and he basically ruined our club.
Yeah.
And it was only thanks to the fans that saved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you look at the FA Cup. I mean, who did we really have to go against? Apart from Chelsea and Man United, the rest of them were. That was it.
Yeah, but you won an FA Cup,
so
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's a fantastic day.
We're better than Tottenham. We're better than Tottenham. Better than Scum.
You know what usually happens with West Ham when we have something good happen? It's immediately followed by something bad, something crap. We have to pay a penance for it.
That's practically what happened to us. We went down 4 leagues.
I was just going to say,
the
same rules apply to you, but much bigger. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
We just don't get pleasing football.
But Gary, he bankrupted QPR as well. They've not recovered. He finished off QPR.
Absolutely right. Look, he was as crooked as the day is long, wasn't he? I mean, he nearly got the England job, believe it or not. But there was, he was actually. You remember that court case was going on, Jazz? And that was the one where he claimed he couldn't send a fax, wasn't it? Or something like that.
No, he couldn't read or write. He couldn't read or write.
Let me clarify this. One minute. Let me clarify this. Call when there is a gap on that number.
No, carry on calling it. Winds him up.
Fucking phone when there's callers on, please.
And the next caller has to be a Moyes
You're
inner.
doing it now.
It has to. Next caller has to be a Moyes inner. If it's not a Moyes inner, it's going to be a very short call, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't think you won't get any phone in tonight.
I've got one quick question. If you could have an England manager, a new one, who would you have? I've only got one name. For me.
David Moyes. He should be England manager now.
He should be England manager.
We want to win something. We don't
don't really. Honestly, mate, I couldn't give a shit about England. Eddie Howe.
Mourinho.
Eddie Howe would be brilliant as an England manager.
That's mine. I'd give Mourinho. I'd say to Mourinho, right, you've got a 3-year contract. Go and win something.
Well, he was the negative, though. It's just the negative. What do you want, Mr. Negative?
It shit his way through it. It's 1-0, and then
not anymore. He's just a good version of David Moyes.
He's more interesting than Gareth, to be fair.
He wins. He wins.
I do think tournament football is all about winning. That's the thing. When you're in tournaments, it's all about winning. But anyway, thank you very much for the call, mate. We're going to wrap this one up. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your call. Good luck, Portsmouth. See you later.
Up your hammers.
Cheers, mate. He just phoned up to Shaft about Portsmouth.
Yeah, up our hammers. He said up your hammers.
Up your hammers. Up your hammers.
No, up your hammers.
Good call.
Proper club. A good fan.
Yeah. It is. Right. Okay.
We've voted the most boring song ever.
There is a gap. Here we go.
Yeah.
Gary, have a look at their flag, mate. It's a bit worrying. Their flag looks a bit dodgy, mate.
Hello, mate. It's Nick from Claret and Booze.
Bad, mate.
Hey, does fellas, you right?
Yeah, very good, mate. Who are we talking to and where you calling from?
Sam, I'm from Epping.
Good man. You all right?
Yeah, firstly, lads, I think it's great what we're doing with the group and that.
Thanks very much.
And this every Sunday is perfect for me. You know what I mean? There's lots in the pub with pals.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's kind of
it is good. To get a few points a bit off this donkey that's in charge of us.
Go on, mate. Go on, get stuck in, son.
Players, what's he been doing for the last couple of years as well?
Yeah.
And what have Ings and Cornet got to do to try and get a game? Now the season's absolutely finished from us, yeah. And he's still flogging the same players. Give the kids a chance.
Exactly. I mean, some of the it's like Danny Ings probably ain't going to be here next year. I don't think Cornet is going to be here next year. So I don't know why he's persistently fucking. What? Well, you know why? Because he doesn't give a fuck about the future. He knows that he ain't part of our future. That's why. He knows it.
But if you've got any dignity, though, Nick, you'd walk, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but I don't think he's going to. You know, I don't think he will.
Get rid of him now. What's his payoff going to be? Fuck him off there.
There'll be nothing.
You're talking about 30 bob.
It's a month's money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bring someone in now so we can have a proper look at the players instead of.
I've got a
this,
question. I've got a question
start
for everyone,
next
including
week.
the caller.
Go on.
Last fixture is 19th of May. The last fixture.
Yeah.
When do you think the new manager will be installed?
This is the problem, right?
Fucking hopefully in the morning.
Because when do contracts end, Jazz? Is it the end of June or the beginning?
Fly back.
No.
When do player contracts end?
No. His contracts will run until the end of June, so they'll have to.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll have to sack him.
Yeah, but his contract will run out at the same time as the likes of Ben Johnson and people like that.
Yeah, but
we need to sack him now. Bring a new manager in, or at least introduce him.
They will actually have to sack him if they're going to replace him. They can't let his contract run out. They're going to have to. Even if they let him run until May the 19th, if they let him go at that point, he's been sacked.
Well, they might as well just let it pay him up now because he ain't going to do anything else from us as it goes from now anyway.
Well, I think it's gone now, don't you? Go on, mate.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's contract expires, like you said, 30th of June. 30th of June, mate, as an example. Yeah,
and it'll be the same for the manager.
I just want to make a couple of points about that Ben Johnson as well, yeah?
Go on.
Where he's obviously, for his age, yeah, what's an average right-back worth in the Premier League? 15 million, 20 million?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So where he wants 50 grand a week, which is £2.5 million a year at 5 years, you've got to spend 15, 20 to replace him.
It makes no sense.
And then play the 50, 60, 70 grand a week who probably don't give a toss about the club.
Mate, it makes no sense whatsoever. It doesn't. It never has
done.
done.
And for his age as well, you could knock him out in 2 or 3 years' time if he progresses after he's got a contract. I mean, we might get 30 million for him if he kicks on.
And look, we all know, we've all got eyes in our head, right? We can all see there has been a decline in Ben Johnson since David Moyes has got his hands on him. Because when he first came in, he had a brilliant run. He had about 5 or 6 games against all the fucking. He was playing Man City, he was playing Liverpool, and he had a stat after that run before Soufal recovered from his injury and came back in. He was the only fullback that hadn't been dribbled past in that period as well. He was fucking phenomenal for that period. So I think if we'd have maintained and we'd have fucking like Jazz said, if we'd have actually coached him and given him a position rather than just using him and abusing him because he's versatile and he can play left back, he can play centre back, he can do this. Fucking, he should have been kept as a right back.
I'll give you an example, Nick. If he was in Arteta's squad, you would have seen how much he does. I've seen Arsenal's reserve wing backs and fullback. Arteta would turn him into something half decent, mate. And you're right, 65 grand a week, gentlemen, is 3.3 million a year.
Yeah,
65 grand a week.
There you go.
And that's peanuts in today's wage. And you've got to sign someone who's get as good as him for 20 odd million and pay them that money anyway. And the geezer's a West Ham fan. He's hardly ever injured and he's never wanked it off. You know,
he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
To put it in perspective, we're paid 7 million for a few months of Phillips.
Yeah, and we lost a fucking great player who loved the club in Fornals, and we loved him as well, right? He could have been a great player. He was a great player at times for us. He was nowhere near finished. He was 27. He was at his peak, right? He was never fast.
And Gary, what did we get for him? And he wasn't
7 million
on big money.
7 million.
7 million for a 27-year-old Spanish international.
Exactly. It's a joke. That's the same with Benny as well. We come from Brentford. He wouldn't have been on huge money. It was absolutely pointless getting rid of them guys.
I mean, he's on loan. He's on loan. It's even less point. There's even less point to it. And Kehrer.
And look, Danny, that's a Moyes problem.
Okay, I mean the Kehrer one really baffled me because I like Kehrer.
Me too.
I do. I do like him. I know he had a rick in him, but look, I'm not being funny. Every single defender has ricks in them when you play the way that we play. We invite the opposition on, of course. You'd have to.
He was a third centre half. You don't play for Germany if you ain't.
But to play the way that we play, you'd need to have fucking Baresi and Maldini back there for you to not make fuck ups because it is just constant pressure. Fuck off, fam. Hang on.
Can you?
I had that glitter come on my screen.
There's one thing that bothers me. And what I think the game that Sullivan's playing at the moment in keeping him until the end of the season, it ain't because he intends to give him a new contract. What Sullivan is doing is trying to eat as much as possible into the next transfer window. And how he will do that is let Moyes stay until the very last minute, then tell Starting to go and find a manager. We'll spend a month and a half, 2 months looking for a manager. There'll be hardly anything left of the fucking transfer window.
Nope.
Then the excuses will start coming out. No Europe, less money, FFP, blah, blah, blah. Paqueta, we won't sell him to the very end and get, but, you know, it'll be too late to fucking spend the money by the time we get him. There will be something that says FFP, we've only got 50 million to spend.
Last minute.
We'll only be able to spend what comes in, basically, and we won't sell anybody until the very end, right? That is what I'm really fearful of.
Yeah.
But they've got to fuck him off, because where everyone's blowing smoke up his arse about winning this Conference League, it's the equivalent of Man City winning the Europa. He should be winning that.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is literally
good analogy, actually.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, it's fine for us to love what happened there in Prague. We've been starved for so long. I think it goes back to what Tommy said. When you're starved, even a cracker tastes nice, right?
Yeah.
And we have been starved of that, and it was wonderful. But you can't overlook the facts around the competition. We had a squad that was worth more than every single team that we played throughout the whole fucking route to the final, not excluding Fiorentina. All of them together. If you combined all of the squad values together of all the teams that we played en route to that final, our squad was worth more than all of them put together.
And when did he become a serial winner? Because they started saying, these Moyes started saying, "Oh, if you want to win cups, what do you mean cups? There's no fucking plural. It's cup. If you want to win cup, he won one fucking cup in over 1,000 games. He did win a charity shield.
That Man United side that he took over won it by 13 points the year before he was there.
Yes.
And look at the state he left that in. And Sunderland, he fucked up. This small squad mentality. It's not year 2000. You're in Everton now. You've got to have the big squad.
I think he's all right, but his chemistry doesn't suit West Ham. He's not a West Ham manager. That's look at Tottenham. They went after Conte and Mourinho, the most expensive star-rated managers in the world. But if that fit doesn't, it's like a player. If it doesn't fit your
he's rarely had a striker, for instance, that's worked. A proper striker that's worked. He had a couple of semi-successes at Everton, but you remember he burnt through a lot of fucking strikers at Everton.
Yeah, he did.
Loads. And then he went to, like Shane just said, right? Man United won the league. They had Van Persie and Rooney up front.
I'm going to run a poll.
He couldn't even get a tune out of Van Persie or
Rooney. They won it by
the following
13
year.
points, Gary.
Yeah. Was that?
They won it by 13 points.
Yeah. And he couldn't get a tune out of those two strikers, either of them, the following year. How pathetic is that? So no wonder he couldn't get a tune out of Skamaka, Halle, whatever. The only tune he gets out is when he puts a winger up front.
But Gary, again, it's who signed him? If you're a manager with some balls, you got to sign him or you walk out. You know, Kirbishley, like Nick said, they sold Linda, didn't they? McCartney behind his back.
Yeah.
And he's like, he got £1 million out of it. But then going back to Nick's point on Kehrer, you've got to have more than one formation. So for me, Kehrer in a flat back struggles. But in 3 centre backs or as a wing back, I think Kehrer would be good.
It worked.
It'd be reasonable.
It worked. But it's the same thing going back where you got to have a different formation. We've let Skamaka go. He's number 9.
Yeah, he has 2 formations though. His 2 formations.
I love Skamaka. I loved him. I thought he was
so did I. I think he's a great player. He had
a great shot he had on him.
He was a young player, Jazz, who would have developed into something good. He had the raw materials there, right? He was there.
Good manager.
Yeah. He's got 2 formations, Moyes. 4 defenders or 5 defenders.
Yeah.
He does not know how to manage someone with a bit of skill. Right. Do you remember, Gary, when Ben Rama came in? I know he's got his faults, and whether we understand him as a championship level, premiership level, that's for another show. But he's tried to do a few tricks, dribbles. He lost it once. Moyes looked at him like, I'm going to kill you. The whole confidence has gone after that.
But he wasted so many people. When we needed someone playing in that number 10 role, he had Ben Rama who could play there. Lanzini could play there. Fornals could play there. You know, it's so many players. Never once did he very rarely, maybe 2 or 3 times in a season, did one of those.
Does anyone know how long Zuma's got left on his contract? Because his knees are.
I don't know how long he's got left in his knees.
We're going to give him another 2 years, Shane.
2025.
Give up as a captain of West Ham. He'd give up today on 2 of them goals. I think it was the second and on the third.
I think it's 2025. I'll double check. I think it's
he ain't a captain, is he? He ain't a captain. That was ridiculous.
He never has talked enough. I mean, look. As well as the issue with having Ogbonna and Zuma there is you've got no pace, right? But And I agree.
Yeah.
And I agree Ogbonna is done. But do you know something? I'm not being funny. Our best centre-back performance this season was against Arsenal away with Mavropanos and Ogbonna. Because Oggy is a leader. He is a leader. And if you've got pace next to him, you know, you had Emerson one side, you had Mavropanos the other. It was fine. It worked well, and he organises Oggy. It worked okay. I just think Moyes.
But this is why
Moyes is just
the
fucking idiot. Yeah, he should have. But this is what you could do if we released Moyes now. Say, for instance, we did release Moyes. Say they've made a decision on players that are going to be leaving in the summer. They've made a decision. Look, these players are going. Yeah. Let's look at the next season. You could bring in Kevin Keane for 4 games. You could. Yeah. Just say Keane run that team. Use some fucking a mix, not all kids, but a mix, you know, and you know what? We'd all fucking enjoy the rest of it because this season's dead now anyway.
Definitely.
We ain't getting in Europe. We ain't getting
the thing is as well, just another quick point. Where he's got where we obviously was 1-0 up, we still needed 2 goals on Thursday, to obviously beat and 1 to draw, right? And he still doesn't bring Ings or the young lad Mabama on. What the fuck's going on? You still got
the sub came on after 86 minutes. The sub came on first sub, 86 minutes.
And Alonso's the reactive manager who made 4 within about 60 minutes.
Right, listen. I've run a poll because I wanted to establish if there was any Moyes fans watching. Right, so I've done sack Moyes now, and there's 250 votes so far. 88% have said now, 7% have said end of season. There's 5% that have said keep Moyes.
Oh, come on,
so you're there.
One of you 5%.
You're there. You're out there. We know you're there.
Come on, stop hiding in the shadows.
Thanks,
Don't be shy. We won't be.
We won't be horrible. Season ticket holders.
Explain your reasons. Come on and explain your reasons, but don't let it be free European
method to my madness. I know you're out.
Listen,
come on.
I'm always honest, and the people are like David Moyes. I'm going to say it is. You can never go at me. It's the people who've been lucky enough to get the away season tickets on the European.
You're correct. Like Dodsey.
It's those ones.
Yeah, like Dodsey.
It's those ones. Dodsey from
some. People go on about the European qualification after the Premier League's in fucking Europe. It goes down to about 8 or 9.
Well, Nick was right. League is your bread and butter, isn't it, Nick? League is your bread and butter.
100%.
And we could have gone down last year with 5 games to go, and somehow we could have finished 14.
Yeah. Right. I was at that Fulham game last year where he completely blanked us and clapped Sullivan on the way out.
No, absolutely right. Right, Sam, we're gonna wrap this one up, mate. But I'm gonna let you finish this off. And bearing in mind, listen, you can say what you want. You haven't got to worry. You know, you watch the channel. But if you wanted to give David Moyes a message now, what would that be? What would that message be?
Fuck right off. Yeah. You fucking Ironbrew drinking haggis muncher.
Fucking definitely. Yes.
We'll pay for the Uber. We'll pay for the Uber. Yeah.
I'll even pay for the black cab with piggy breaks.
Thank you very much for the call, Sam. It was very good.
Cheers,
Thank you very
much. Good work, lad. Love the channel.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Good call. Right, so right now, look, I know you're hiding out there, all you little Moyes lovers. Right, I know you're out there. We can see you. We can see you in the poll. We can see you in the poll. I promise you, I won't call you a cunt when you come on.
Only unless you call us.
Unless you call us a cunt. We'll have a conversation. We'll have a debate. Now, it's 3 of us. We're not going to be horrible.
No,
we're not going to be horrible.
We've never been horrible to anyone.
We know you're out there. Come and talk to us. Come and talk to us. Come on.
I think Sean has calmed down now, isn't he? Sean has calmed down a bit. Sean used to be pro Moyes last year. We used to have a bit give and throw.
Sean, who last week after the Leverkusen game immediately sent out a poll to see how popular he was. And he didn't send a poll out today, funny enough. So he hasn't given up on Moyes. He ain't given up on Moyes.
Right, so have I got to put the number back up? Because we're free, we're available for calls still.
Available for calls. Please call in.
I mean, you haven't got to be Moyes out to phone in. Anyone can phone in.
Just call
look, there's enough of a gap there. You know, if they really wanted to phone in, they could. So for all those people that watch us and say, we're not open, it is open. The phone number's there. It is there. You can phone in. Tell us why we've got to keep him. Hello, Darren. How are you, mate?
Right, Darren.
Leo, I'll call you back, mate. Darren, are you there?
You all right?
I'm good, mate. You?
You all right? Yeah, brilliant. Well, not too bad. What you've been up to other than watching that crap?
Yeah, no, nothing much, mate. I feel all right. I feel okay today. Most of my anger was got out on the post-match show the other day. I think I've done enough screaming on that
West Ham Online, are you out there?
Surely that's West Ham Online. Going 4-0 down in 20-odd minutes.
Well, mate,
surely. How many more chances are you going to have?
He ain't got no more chances. He's going, but the fact of the matter is, for whatever reason, they just don't want to sack him. I don't know whether he has. I don't know whether. Could it be something sinister, Jazz? Could he have
Photos.
something? Could he have something on David Sullivan? Could it be something like that? When you're involved with people for that long, you get to learn a little bit about the inside workings and stuff like that. Could he know a little bit too much? Is that part of it?
Well, he's probably blackmailing him. If you sack me now, I won't be sleeping with your wife anymore.
He's got one of his early porn films, one of his really early ones. Featuring a young David
don't surprise me. He probably shoves a dildo up his arse and all.
Sullivan in the farm, isn't he? In the farm.
Dildo farm.
Sullivan with a donkey, Nick. Sullivan with a donkey.
But Darren, what was your thoughts on the game today anyway? That was
diabolical, wasn't it? Moyes didn't even try changing it or anything. We were 2 or 3-0 down.
He made changes.
No, what I mean is he just sat on his arse.
Would even take a call from Tear.
Gentleman in the top right with the glass.
He can fuck off.
Oh yeah, he can fuck off.
Gentleman in the top right. I can't remember his name. I've watched his show a couple of times. It's really good.
Jazz, it's Jazz.
I'm really sorry. Yeah, Jazz. When you said about Ben Rama, where he lost the ball and Moyes was on his case. Paqueta, amount of times he's lost the ball now, he's got away with it with Moyes.
Yeah. I know, mate. I know.
But the thing is, though, Ben Rama, Moyes actually told him he's changed his game and that. So if Moyes hasn't have done that, he would be a different player.
He does do that with so many players, though. Moyes has got this obsession with changing players. I mean, the best one for me was Paqueta. We paid 50 million for a player. He didn't even know where he played.
Yeah.
No. Joke, isn't it?
He had to go to the World Cup to watch him play to see where Brazil played him.
Yeah. The amount of times he's ruined players, though. He's ruined Skamaka. He's ruined Ben Rama. Borlands, Lanzini.
Mate.
No, I mean, you can tell we missed Lanzini as well.
Yeah, no. Well,
Hilaire, you ruined him as well.
Do you know what? And this is a thing. A lot of people will come out and say, Lanzini's finished, Johnson's no good, this, that, the other. But you know what?
Well, look at Johnson now.
Yeah, but you need these players. You need these players in your squad.
Yeah.
And you know what? They would have all been better than what they've shown in the last few years if they were part of a squad. It's like, going back to a comment, Jazz, what David Moyes was pissing and moaning about. He was saying, oh, well, Leverkusen, Alonso's got 17 or 18 players that he uses, as part of his squad. And you're like, are you actually saying that, you fucking moron? You could have had
that. We had a short squad.
Yeah, no, it is.
He decided to get rid of all them players.
It is his
and
fault,
have a short city squad.
Absolutely.
There's no depth on that bench whatsoever.
There's not, mate. There's not. But
Nothing.
But anyway, mate, we're going to wrap this one up. So I'm going to say the same thing to you, Darren Potter. If you wanted to say something to David Moyes, what would you like to say to him? Go on.
Hurry up and fuck off out of club, you useless old fossilised cunt.
Yeah, that's good. Fossilised cunt. We'll like fossilised cunt.
Go back to the dildo shop. I'm not being funny. He wouldn't even be able to manage McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Get back to the dildo shop. Yeah, no. All right. Lovely. I'm loving the hate.
All right.
Good.
You take care.
Lovely. All right.
Cheers, Darren.
See you later. Cheers, mate.
All the best, you lot.
Ta-da, mate. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right, come on, Moyes, you Moyesinners, where are you?
There's 16 of you out there. Somebody just counted.
Fucking loads of them.
We know you're there.
You're there. You're there. Come on, phone.
Do you know something? A lot of them are at the ground sitting next to me. A lot of them are. No, they're not on YouTube channels. A lot of them don't even watch anything. But a lot of them, like one of them, I get really animated. I'm like, fuck this, fuck that, and they're like, you can tell they're like. Do you know what
I like them too, right? Because we get criticised. We're on these shows every week, and we're always here, and we always give our opinion. But you know what I like in these people too? They're like Spurs fans. You know, like when Spurs lose and they go missing.
Spurs fans. Yeah.
They go missing. They literally go missing. They disappear.
Have a night off. Have a night off.
I tell you what, Arsenal fans they're the worst,
mate. And it good, and it good. Fucking now it's brilliant. What's happened with them? Sam made some lovely songs up earlier on.
Definitely. Well, they copy everyone else's songs, don't they? Yeah, they copy everyone else's songs.
So we've got 445 votes now. 87% are saying get rid of that fossilised old, what do you call him? Dildo munching cunt, now.
And go back to the dildo shop.
8% are saying end of season. 1% are on the. I don't know how you can be on the fence. And
you got your own bar there, Jez. You got a selection of.
Yeah, I have. It's a garage here.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're coming round.
He has. Okay, right. Look, that's it. We'll call that. Does anyone else want to phone in? Is there anyone else that wants to phone in?
Well, you know when Kingy came. When Kingy came in, didn't he, to the UK?
Yeah.
I met him after one of the European games, and I was going to pick him up. He
mentioned it. We met him as well.
The softy couldn't get up. He had a couple of bottles, and I said, "Listen, mate, when we drink, we get up next day like fresh." He's like, "Oh, I can't get up. I've got a headache."
Oh, look, here we go.
Nick nearly killed him. We went out. 3 of us went out.
I'm going to pick him up.
I don't drink very much these days, so I had a couple of pints, and then he went on with Nick, and they got home at God knows what time.
I know. He said on Sunday, wasn't it?
We've got one of them fucking cock-munching, Moyes bastards on the phone here, haven't we, Luke?
Who we got? Who is it?
Luke, are you there?
What are you wearing?
I am here. I'm not Moyes in a Moyes that night.
By the way, I saw your post. I saw your post that you made. That was fucking brilliant, Luke. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Look, he got something in your mouth. You got something in your mouth. Long. What is it? Scottish. What is it?
Yeah.
Ginger hairs. You got to spit the ginger hairs out. What are you doing?
Look. So where are you sitting after that game today? Go on. The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
My phone call is very, 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 very short and sweet, and I'm going to get to the point. Not to do with Moyes. For all your Moyes in and Moyes out arguments, the biggest argument going is the Nick is useless argument, right? You dangled the carrot earlier, and he said to me, "Do you fancy coming on the show tonight?" I sent you a link 2 minutes ago. And I said, "Oh yeah, maybe not now. I'll come in when I'm free." And then
you were so slow. You were so slow. Once I'm in show mode, I don't see him. When did you respond?
Anyway, get to the point. Do
you want to come on screen? So I'll send you the link now. We're finished yet. I'll carry on talking anyway. Carry on talking.
No, send me a link like you would go to. Do your job. Unlike Moyes, do your job properly and do what you said earlier. Back yourself up and do yourself up and get you on.
Come on. We want to see you tongue punching Moyes live. We want to see it on the screen. Hang on.
No worries. Fuck off. See you later. Bye.
Go on. Here he is.
Bye.
Right, there we go. Let's get Lukey on. Here he is.
Luke.
Right. Okay, he's gone. Right, the phone lines are still open. Right.
We know you're out there.
Okay. Right. Is there any questions in the comments section?
People ask me questions about my
just
top
have a
nick.
look.
They love the West Ham shirt, 1983.
That is a wicked.
It's a great shirt.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. We've got another one.
Is that original or Chinese?
Okay. Well, is there any questions in the?
Be honest, Jez.
Right,
I was going to say, Billy Bonds ran into the crowd.
You need to turn your TV down. Turn your TV down.
Adidas and West Ham match made in heaven. No,
I've got one of them from China. They're actually good. They're decent.
No, turn your TV down.
It looks good though. It looks good, Jez. Good colours.
Hello.
Nolly,
I've got a 981.
Oh, right, you're gone.
981 as well. Lee Cutter with that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, got one.
Right,
Sammy Lee. Who was the referee? Who was the cheat?
Oh, Reese, mate. They probably don't even exist, mate. So I can't even give you any details.
Who's the cheat?
Hello. Is that a Moyes inner? Is that a Moyes inner?
Moyes in my fucking arse. I'll tell you something now. Right? I swear to God, right? That cunt, right? He should go. His next job should be Mayor of London. Replace one cunt for another one. Honestly, sorry about the C-bomb, lads, but he is a fucking cunt.
Demonetised again, Nolly.
You normally apologise for the cunts before you say cunt. To be fair.
Yeah, not this. Honestly, mate. That's the fourth time we've been done 5-0. And he's supposed to be a defensive fucking genius.
65 goals we've conceded.
The fourth
someone said
most
earlier.
goals in the league we've conceded, just below the bottom three who are getting relegated and getting slaughtered every week.
I did notice today, as I was driving in on my way to work, I I thought the tone of the TalkSport fucking lit asses had changed.
Oh, is it? Is it?
You know,
Really? Wow.
What were they saying? What were they saying, Nolly?
Yeah. There was a couple of them. They weren't so. One of them was particularly like, oh, I don't know about it. You know what I mean? Most of the West, because the geezer said, "Oh, it's only a majority of the West Ham fans," and the geezer went, "Nah, it ain't. It's quite a lot of West Ham fans." Fuck me, someone actually fucking listens.
Yeah. So who was that? Who was actually on TalkSport? Because I know a few of them have been softening. Like somebody said, Keown's softened.
It was yeah, exactly.
Black Country, phone you back after.
It was about 12 o'clock, and it weren't the Irish geezer; it was the English geezer. So there you go. That's about as good as I can get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that bollocks, and it is bollocks about how weak we are on the bench. Why are we weak on the bench? Flynn Downs, right, is out fucking Southampton.
Yes.
Tilo Kehrer, Monaco. He sold Benny. He sold fucking Pablo. He fucks Kamaka back off. Look, we built a wall to keep them cunts out, and there was a reason for it, right? And what we need to do is rebuild the fucker and send him back over it. I fucking hate him. I mean, we could have, honestly, had a good season. All right, the Leverkusen thing. But again, it's the way we set up.
Nolly, we've got a Moyes inner on the screen. His name's Luke.
Nolly.
Yeah.
Nolly, can I just say, Moyes has actively tried to tear the soul out of this club by dividing its fans and making us who don't like his football fuck off, right? Sullivan's tried to do it as well. But what Thursday night showed me is it don't fucking matter. We're all still there. We're all still there under the surface.
We are. Absolutely.
We've got a great support. If you look at the people, we've got a great support, West Ham, and people cunt us off for this, that, oh, you want too much. Bollocks, do we want too much?
No.
I want to win fucking it. I want us to win the Eurovision fucking Song Contest. I'm West Ham. And that's probably the only chance we'll get of getting into fucking Europe next year.
It's true, actually.
But there you go.
Well, it is not going to happen. We're not going to get 7th. That's for sure. Because there was a chance it could have dropped down to 8th, but that chance has evaporated, isn't it? That's not happening now. It can only be 7th.
Souness said it was 5 to 10% Moyes out.
Yeah, they're off their nut. Yeah, but you know,
but it's another jock. It's another jock.
Yeah, but you know when that do you know when that smarmy, fucking thick, bezeled fucking glassing wearing cunt Simon Jordan goes, "It's the vociferous minority." I fucking hate that cunt. I do. I used to like him. It's the vociferous minority.
Yeah.
Fuck off, mate. I don't listen to the vociferous minority.
He tries to not move his head as he's talking.
Yes.
Must be very, very clear.
Yes. Gesticulating with the vociferous minority.
He loves talking about that playoff final, doesn't he?
Yeah. I only sent one club out of
He over-articulates everything. He does, that cunt. He does, honestly. The fucking words he comes out with.
He fucking skinned Crystal Palace. He skinned himself.
There's a geezer there script writing for him, mate. That's what he is.
Yeah. I reckon he is. He's fucking. He's not even human. He's not AI or something.
With regard to going out of Europe, right? That was 180 minutes, and we played 45 of them. Okay. Now the first 90, that's fucking down to Moyes and no one else. The way he set up.
Yeah, Luke. As you're late, you've got to do the pew-pews now.
We lost it, mate. Yeah. We lost it. Absolutely fucking lost it in the first game.
Absolutely
anyway,
right,
lads, right?
Yeah.
I've just got in. I'm just about to crack my second beer because I'm fucking knackered.
Mate.
Lovely, love the show. I was watching Nick the other day. He was ranting, and the words it was my words. They were my fucking words.
You changed him.
Before I love you and leave you,
go on.
Right, this is going to be my words to David Moyes.
Yeah,
right,
fucking tell him, Nolly. Tell him.
It's kind of a swing doors moment. Yeah, he's heard it before. Get out of my club, you fucking cunt. Right, lad.
Close the door out. Close the door.
Yeah, go on, fucking slam it.
I wish you all a very good night.
Thank you very much, Nolly, you legend. See you later. Ta-da, mate. Right, before the next caller does phone in, which will be imminent, we've had quite a few there. Luke, how are you, mate?
I'm a bit pissed off, to be fair. I think you're throwing me under the bus here or something. I'm making up that I'm Moyes in just to get I'm coming on it, but I got a message and I went, "Oh, he's invited me on. This is a rarity. I'm actually available as well." And then
What was your reply? What was your reply? Hang on.
You ignore your WhatsApps when you shouldn't. I send you.
Hang on. Whoa. This is at 8:05. Cheers, mate. I can't write at the moment.
Yeah.
Send me a link and I'll jump on when I can. I know, but I didn't read that bit, so it's not really my fault. It's not really. You lack commitment, Luke. You lack commitment. That's your trouble.
Gary's always been a better one.
But anyway, Luke, come on. The floor's yours, mate. Tell us what your thoughts are at the moment. I know you. He's not Moyes in, by the way. He's not Moyes in. I was only joking.
I'll say this for the record. I've said it on other channels before. I was, and then he himself made me Moyes out. It took a little while, but I've been for a couple of years now. I don't hate him like Nick does with the best rant in the world ever.
I don't hate him.
It was a great rant.
Did you?
I don't like
Moyes. You like that one, didn't you? Yeah.
Luckily today the stream wasn't very good, so what I ended up doing was watching the Coventry Man United semi-final, which was 10 times that like amazing. Like that was almost like the other night felt like. Thursday was, to be honest with you, I think Thursday was the highlight of my season. Just for everything about
it was mine.
I think you're wearing the highlight of this season. That away shirt is fucking phenomenal.
It's not weird.
Great shirt. It's a great shirt.
That is literally the highlight of this season. It is a beautiful away shirt.
The shirts have been nice this season. I know people
I don't like the home one. The fucking stupid tea cup mark.
Nick, I was asking last night. Has it gone? Is it £10 cheaper? I might go in there. Like back it up to Park days. You used to pick them up for £10.
Wait a couple of weeks, it'd be a fiver. Don't worry, Jazz.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone, Gary. I think you don't drop it more.
Don't they knock them out at the end of the season? The old stock.
Don't
they?
Yeah, they do get cheaper.
Because that's the sort of timeless one. You could wear that.
Don't they?
You could get that one any season, couldn't you? That one you could get away with wearing that any time.
No, Luke's wearing small. They're always in stock.
I know. I'd need big with extra tick.
Luke's about 7 foot tall.
Yeah, lick me yet, so that's all I am.
But yeah, so go on, mate. We interrupted you anyway. What was you saying about Moyes?
There ain't much more to say. The thing is, I don't know if I've listened to earlier. Jess was saying, or someone was saying that they're numb to it now.
Yeah,
I was almost laughing when we was 3-0 down.
Mate, that's how I felt.
When you're so battered, you just think, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. But it doesn't. It wasn't a surprise because, and this I've just been reading what he said. Moyes has said after the game.
I haven't. Can you do me a favour? Can you let me know? Because I don't know what the transcript's here. But I didn't
do a
watch
Scottish accent. No, Luke. Do a Scottish accent.
Go on, let us know what he said, please. So I haven't seen it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
No, I know what he said. I know what he said.
He said since he's been at West Ham, he's never had a team that has played that poorly to that level. Even the West Ham official Facebook social media put, we didn't get to the level the supporters gave us today. And I've just tweeted myself saying they weren't at the level because they're fucking knackered. Because when you recycle and you do, it's like this is not rocket science.
Luke, he takes no ownership, does he?
No, he doesn't take any ownership. But this is like, how can I put it? Like, I listen to Tony Gale when it is actually working.
Oh, he was terrible today.
There's been a few things where like it's sort of the players didn't do. The players are fucking. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
I didn't expect that from Tony Gale.
Multi-million pro footballers. I don't really back them up very much. I think they deserve what they get because they pay with that money and all this stuff about having too many games when you got a squad full of 100 people. It's bollocks. But that after Thursday when they gave their all, you could tell after 60 minutes they had nothing left in them at all. No. And then you're going to make them go to who've got a really good manager because they've done what we haven't. And they've gone out and got a younger, more proactive manager, all the rest of it. And they've turned their squad into a passing, goal machine, whatever you want to call it. Beating us 5-0 is no surprise anymore. It's happened quite a few times this season. We've lost by quite a few games. And it wasn't surprised me at all. I was watching it going, I was kind of looking and going, I don't ever do this. Like I said, pro footballers, I as much as I can, I try and support them. But they're millionaire pro footballers. They've got the world at their feet. They're pampered left, right, and centre. So I don't really give them much sympathy. But today you had things like Emerson scored his own goal, and him and Fabianski were going, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Thinking, lads, you ain't. I'm not surprised you're scoring own goals and you're off your head because it's like to be that ground out.
But when you play to that level, right? To that level, it all comes down to percentages because you're playing against other athletes that are just as fit as you. If you're off it and you're knackered and you're gone, you're fucked. You know, because you're not just going to be physically tired; you'll be mentally drained as well. It's kind of he just doesn't. But what is most frustrating, Luke, is he's repeating the same mistake that he did when we was last in the Europa League.
Yeah, no, we all saw it coming. None of this is this, like I've said in that thing, Gary. I've done an article for West Ham Network, which is the channel I'm part of, by the way. Little plug to that. Nothing that I said in that article hasn't been said by.
He's a closet boozer. He's a closet boozer. That's what he is.
You'd love it. Give me shit every day. But yeah, nothing. The problem is as well is that we're living in this world. This is the Premier League world where winning is all that matters, because winning is, which is the reason why things like VAR are so careful, because they don't want to give goals, because they don't want to cause a knock-on effect where people finish in leagues, where people, results are concerned and stuff like that. So it is deemed that if you're winning, there's nothing to moan about. The trouble is that, well, for me, we tend to be a very unique football club where we are basically all based around our football, the style of play, because you don't support West Ham because they're winning, for fuck's sake. It's always like
no, like absolutely not.
So when you if you're winning, but you're not you're watching the other team play against you, and you're trying to nick a goal from a set piece. Now, look, if it works and you're winning, there's a part of you goes, do you know what? I respect it.
You can tolerate it, basically.
But when it doesn't, and you're not consistent with it, then you're like, hold on, this ain't right here, because what you're doing isn't working in the first place. You might as well start playing good football, because if we're going to lose, you want to lose at least being a bit entertained. But now it's just one thing after the other, mate.
I do think what it all stems from. Gary done a show a little while ago, and he kind of identified it, and it's quite clearly a political game now, where David Moyes knows what he's had to do in the past to get himself out of trouble. He plays on the front foot, and he'll go and get a result. But he has been insisting on trying to make his way work, because obviously that's what he's sold to the board. That's what he's sold to the board in order to sort of force certain players through and everything else. And he's been pushing back on this different philosophy, which we know that Stein has got in the way that he sees football. He's been pushing back on that. So next week. So for Sullivan to allow this fucking car crash to play out, it wasn't necessary, because this season in the Premier League has been shit and shocking. Like there's been so many teams that have not been on it. Aston Villa have snuck in there because they've taken the opportunity. It could have been us.
The thing is, especially since the conference final, Moyes has had Sullivan's balls in a vice, because via the media, no matter what Sullivan does, if he does make a decision, I'm not sticking up for him. Trophy. Right, they're going to go, what the fuck are you doing? You're 8th in the league. You're in Europe. Basically, Europe has kept his whole career alive for the last 3 years.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And if he makes a decision, right, I'm going to sack this guy, he's got to go, I've got to get a fucking good manager who's got to be hitting the ground running as soon as he gets employed. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to have the media on my case. I'm going to have the fans on my case, because my decision hasn't worked. Ever since he won that final, he's had to go, you need me, because if you get rid of me now, you've got a lot of answering for. So until Thursday night, Leverkusen or whatever, there's so many things he can say for Leverkusen. They're top of their league in the Bundesliga. They're unbeaten. They've got all these players who play fantastic. But there's so many excuses you can use and reasons as to why he doesn't play a certain style, or the reason why we went out. So it's already done before the game's decided anyway. But with Sullivan, is that I don't really understand. Like with me and you have talked about before. When he brought Stein in, it was a very un-Sullivan-like thing to do, and it must have been down to Krasinski. And think for Sullivan to allow that means that maybe he's got a bit less power than he had before.
Maybe.
But where Moyes is concerned, I think he's literally gone, you can't get rid of me, because if you do,
I think that's what's happened.
Fucking big balls to get rid of me, because the media are going to be on your case. Everyone's going to be saying you got rid of the bloke who's put the club where it is, and all sorts of stuff.
And I do think that we've been seeing that play out with the media. I think Moyes has been fighting Sullivan in the media.
Yeah,
agree.
The club has been, like Nick on my channel always say, that the club under Sullivan and Gold, it's very reactive, not proactive. So don't forget that Rob Newman came in before Tim starting to pretend he's starting up the scouting team. And don't forget, Sullivan famously also said that I don't believe in the academy. I don't believe in investing in youth, because one player in a million makes it. I've got no time for none of that. And he's 75 years old.
There's the excuse and a reason why anyone does anything. Don't be wrong. There's plenty of managers out there that are like him or whatever for certain reasons. I'm not saying there's not, but there's for everything that happens, and this is where the Moyes out, Moyes in thing always ends up being an argument, because there is an argument for every reaction, and there's a reason. The trouble is that sometimes an argument there can be many reasons for an argument, but all someone has to say is, yeah, well, this. Yeah, well, this. If you argue against that, you get knackered, because you've got to think of all the things that.
I was whataboutery across the board,
It's all the time. It's been exhausting this year. It really has. And
first time you fucking qualified 3 years in a row for Europe, right? First time we've invested that amount of money. First time Europe has gone down so low.
It's a 7.
First time, there's been a complete blackout with no fans in the stadium that allowed us to qualify for Europe. Then we just about scraped 7th, if you remember, and got into the newly formed Conference League. We got into the newly formed Conference League. It only been alive for 1 year. We won it, and that's the reason we got into Europe off of a 14th place finish.
Absolutely,
it's only 3 magnificent years of European qualification.
But there is something I want to say about Moyes, and this is the thing, and it's actually quite unnecessary, because I think Pep Guardiola said it himself. Pep Guardiola has said, in terms of coaching, once it gets into the final third, it's up to them. It's literally what he said. He said before. Now, what I'm saying is, David Moyes could have pleased the West Ham fans. He showed he could have, if he wanted to. We showed it the other night against Leverkusen.
Yes,
he could quite easily. And you know what? If we'd have been going out playing front foot football, even if we were fucking 10th or 11th in the league at the moment, we would not be having this conversation. We probably wouldn't.
Interesting, right? Because he was a defender as a player, right?
Yeah.
If you listen to most defenders talk about their career, right, and when you hear these Ironcast interviews, you hear Ginge talk about exactly the same thing, right?
Yeah.
They can't stand pretty football, right?
No.
If they're up against a player, say like a player we all love to watch, I don't know, Ronaldo or Henry back in the day, right? All they're thinking of is, I want to kill you. They don't even appreciate that they're a good footballer, but there's no way in a million years they want to be humiliated by this guy. So the first thing they want to do is knock it up. Bellamy was Ginger was talking about someone the other day when Chris was in getting spoken to, and he said that's it. I think Suarez. I think he gets Suarez for Liverpool when he was at his peak at Liverpool, and he said he gave him a few knocks early on. He didn't want to know, and which is great. Like, fair play, Gin. But you kept him quiet. But there's always this thing of like, if Moyes could hypothetically play entertaining good football, he wouldn't want to, because that's not what he.
I don't think he gets anything out of it. I mean, Jazz, what are your thoughts on with David Moyes? Right, I think we've seen it. We've seen it in glimpses. There's been moments, where we have played the type of football that we love under David Moyes. We have seen it. Even counter-attacking football, if done correctly, is exciting. Right? Why does he show such fucking disdain for West Ham fans to the point where he's like, no, fuck you. It's my way. We're doing it this way.
I think it goes back to the 10 years at Everton, where in Everton's eyes, he was very successful. And I do want to remember this, that with him as Everton manager, I don't think we hardly beat Everton. I remember that as well. Yeah, but it's to do with that. His way at Everton worked for Everton fans with no money, no budget. So they didn't have the opportunity to buy Paqueta, Kudos, Maka, Haller. They didn't have no money. Had a great relationship with the chairman, and it worked well together. He's like, I've got £5. He's like, I only need £4. And it kind of worked that way.
Yeah.
And so Everton fans they might come out cleverly and say, oh, we didn't like him. They fucking loved him out there. But
no, Jazz, they're split, right? I looked into this a little while ago. There's plenty of dissent about Moyes. I'll tell you where the split was, a complete opposite to us. It's the inverse. You said it's the away fans that are more happy than the home fans. You're absolutely bang on, right? With Everton, it was the other way around. Home was a fortress at Goodison Park, right? So the home season ticket holders were singing his name and everything. And that's what he likes. When we were singing, we got Super David Moyes, when we were fucking third from bottom of the league and just beat Derby away in the FA Cup, our fucking away fans were singing his name. And I weren't joining in that song. I'm sorry, I weren't, right? But he used to use that. He actually told people he used to use that in his negotiations with Bill Kenwright. Yeah. The crowd are singing my name. They love me.
That's why you're Scottish. That's why I didn't do Scottish. Scottish dialect.
So yeah, that's what he does. It's very cynical. He turned up at Everton, and on the cab on the way in, when he was dropping off, he thought of this phrase, the People's Club. He said it. The people of Everton went fucking mad over it. He literally just thought it up in the car on the way there, right? Which in one way is genius, but in the other way, he just wanted to have something to throw out there as a soundbite, and he didn't really, he lucked across that one. If you look at his record, Everton have never been relegated. They've nearly been relegated many times. A few times under him, right? They were first division Ponces at one point, right? Or Premier League Ponces at one point. But I always remember Everton being a strong team, especially at home. I remember back to the 80s, like you do, right? They were fucking good. But then they went for a couple of barren years, and then he arrives, and then suddenly he's the fucking saviour who stops them from going down. They've never been down.
But listen, can I say something right about the style of football? Because he has never evolved. He's never evolved, right? Now, the style of football in the Premier League has changed substantially from when he was at Everton. There are more teams playing more front foot football. It's different now. There may have been 2 or 3 great teams in the Premier League.
You're totally
then.
right. Yeah,
it's different now. There's so many teams that are fighting for that. How many teams are in the top half of the table now playing a low block? How many teams are doing that in the top half?
Apart from it's bottom half. That's bottom 3 doing that. Bottom 2 out of 3 doing that.
The game has evolved, and he is in complete fucking denial, and he doesn't want to move on.
I think I must admit, I don't know if it's just me, probably just me. I don't know, but when I'm watching Premier League football now, there's a lot of
nothing was but one in back,
like not counter-attacking, but when they defend, everyone defends. A lot more, not parking the bus, but there's more like when you defend as a unit and you try and attack it as a unit.
There's a transition, and you get forward in this as well. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. So when I've seen many games, I'm thinking because possession football is obviously quite high on the agenda as well. When someone's got the ball around an area, they will pass it. So it looks like said team is just parking the bus, and because they've been there for like a minute because they're waiting for this team to stop passing it around them. But as obviously the game flows and it gets a bit more different, it gets fun. But this, I don't know. The football, I think, technically is better, but it's interesting, right? Because I was going to say this to Russ. I was watching a video the other day, and he said the youth players aren't physical enough to play in the Premier League, and I get the point that when it's man's football is different. Right?
Can I just 1 second before you go though? I think Russ is right when he's talking about Moyes ball. But if you're talking about a team that are knocking the ball about, playing a different style of football, then they are not. We saw Urfi when he came on the other day. He didn't look out of place. For those 3 minutes that he was on, he looked lively, he looks energetic, springing the ball about. You can't have fucking 7 or 8 kids in there, but you can sprinkle a few in. Fuck me, we're seeing it throughout the Premier League now. Brighton have given. What was it? It's 3,700 minutes to teenagers this year compared to our 78 now. Now that Urfi got 3 minutes.
No, my point was he made a good point because obviously you do have to be physically strong in the Premier League. But when when you're watching football and you think the player's made a tackle, but he's hardly touched him, and they go down like they've been shot.
Yeah.
And teams use that as tactical fouls to win free kicks. Alvarez done the other night against Leverkusen. There was a chance to pass to Souček right in front of him, and he held the ball. And even the stadium went, "What are you doing? Pass the ball. You're going to get tackled."
They draw the foul.
And he let the bloke budge into him. So he went down and got a free kick. Yeah. And I watch football now, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know. To me, like it's almost like it doesn't if it doesn't have to be physical if you use your brain. If you get what I mean, like if you think that guy's going to come and tackle me, like. Shoulder barging is almost illegal now. Imagine what when Kudus got shoulder barged by the Newcastle. Everyone was like, "That's a foul." It's a foul. It's a shoulder barge. It's just not been strong enough. That's what it was to me anyway. But I was just thinking to myself, it is physical, but there is a side to it thinking there's reasons why players play tactical fouls that go down like they've been shot because they know that a tackle's coming in. So let's invite it and go on. And I don't know. Maybe it's me being a bit.
Let me ask you this question because I think 99% of people are Moyes out now. It's not even really a question. But in terms of when he goes, we've got 4 games left. The top 7 ain't gone yet. When you look at the way that teams have been faltering this season, you just don't know. Chelsea, Newcastle, these teams could stumble. You don't know. I mean, Chelsea struggled to beat Sheffield United and Burnley. So it can happen. But what I'm going to say is, if he's going to go at this stage now with 4 games to go, would you not just fuck him off now?
See,
get him out now.
I get.
What advantage is there in keeping him now? Is what I'm asking you.
None.
I get the incentive. I get the incentive of getting rid of him now. I think it's almost like the easy option is to just let him ride out the season because he's here anyway. So what's the point in putting the aggro of letting him go?
Where are the benefits in that though, Luke? Give me a benefit.
there's not much benefit. I don't personally see too much benefit in getting a guy in now, mainly because I haven't heard of anyone.
No, we're not saying get a guy in. I mean, what you can do. Look, I'm not being funny.
The only thing I would think of, Nick, and I use one of your own explanations in this. You've said a few times that when we've played really good football on the front foot, you believe that Moyes hasn't.
Yeah, I do believe that Moyes has literally sulked and gone basically do what you want to a degree.
I would presume that, and it's funny enough, it's like anyone has seen it, the Allardyce No Tippy Tappy podcast with Stuart Pearce, and he said it about when he was in charge when they were in top 4. Yeah, and for literally I think 2 months straight, all there was on off. Is he going to get a contract or is he going to sign the contract for ages? And it affected him, it affected the players, and there was no concrete evidence. So if in the end he just went, fuck it, I'm not going to care anymore. If you don't care about me staying here, I ain't going to care anymore either. And I think maybe if Moyes is here, don't believe he's actually got any power. Like if the players know he's going, because there's even the media is saying now that he's very like. If he's
look, the first leg, Moyes set that up, not fucking Sullivan.
No,
true.
What I'm getting at is
Moyes has got the power till he says.
If he stays, he could just be staying in name only. Like they could say,
but what I'm saying is, what is there to be gained in that, Luke? Whereas when you think about it, when you look at the effects that Moyes has on the fan base, on the wider fan base, we're all at each other's throats. So it isn't just a team. Imagine if you could just remove that cloud, so that all of a sudden everybody knows he's gone.
Away from the club,
get fucking Kevin Keane in to take the last 4 games.
We've never had a divided fan base like this ever.
But you look at but
not this divided.
But Luke, the positives that you would have by just removing him,
well, the first
would be massive.
The first negative is that technically they probably have to pay money to get rid of him. That'd be the first.
Yeah, but they've got to pay that wages anyway up until the end of his contract.
2 months of wages.
It's only 2 months.
Yeah.
There's what is it? 4 games left? Did you say there's 4 games left or something like that?
Yeah, end of June you've got to pay him up until right, and so it's 2 months of wages. There's only 4 games left. So we're going to lose probably 2 or 3 of them anyway because he'll play the badge. Moyes will away to Chelsea. Bring someone else in or let Heitinga take over with Noble or Nolan or something like that. Maybe drip feed 1 or 2 little kids in because really we're going into it thinking we're out of Europe and ain't got a chance. Might as well just experiment a little bit. Give us something. I'm going to fucking Chelsea in a couple of weeks.
I can't.
Give me something to look forward to.
Myself of any positives. I've tried to think of all the negatives of it. I don't know why I'm concentrating on the negatives and positives.
I agree with John.
I think of it as I tend to go when I think of these decisions. I tend to think, what would the board do? Not what I would do. I just think because there comes a certain point where you can think about what you would do so much it actually annoys you because it's not happening, and you're putting
Mabuma was an unused sub with was it Orford and Casey? They're the 3 unused subs. Casey, Mabuma, Orford. It's
just frustrating. I'm genuinely, like you said when you came on, Luke. I'm bored with the whole thing now. I'm apathetic towards it. I am bored of it.
Honestly, I want to talk about something else. I wait for the day, I long for the day when I can open fucking X or Twitter and not see an article about Moyes, a photo of Moyes, a quote of Moyes, listen to fucking radio and hear someone talking about Moyes. Moyes, he's everywhere. He's omnipresent. I'm telling you, he's like God. He's omnipresent. He's all around us.
I don't know why you two use Twitter. The one knows that you.
I don't really use it anymore, Luke. I've turned into a bit of a Twitter troll. So what I tend to do now, what I've done for the last 6 weeks to 2 months, is I go pop in, drop a bomb, and then go. It's generally what I do.
I never win anyway. I always just get. I'm like West Ham. I just keep trying. That's what I do.
I like country.
But so I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap this up because it's getting close to 11 o'clock, and it's been an amazing show.
One sec. Let's take John.
Your last call up.
What's this?
I've got 9% battery left. I'm just going to switch my speakers around. So, yeah.
We're going to wrap it up in a sec. So, John says, but my concern is, as usual, Sully will be none the wiser about what? What are you talking about, John? Come on. The board won't do anything. A perfect time.
John has been on the sauce tonight. He's been out with the old lady.
Sorry, I'm off skip land. Everyone's going to bed. They're all leaving us. Fucking hell. We've only been going 3 hours. What's the matter with you? Like, you got no staying power.
I know, but what I was going to say is tonight has been fucking massive. We've sustained huge numbers tonight. So between 12 and 1,400 for almost 3 fucking hours. That's crazy.
Been a very good show, though. Enjoyed this.
It's been a good show. It's been very, very good. So thank you very much. I'm going to wrap this up by saying, look, even though me and Gary are brothers, we've got very different friend circles. So I'm going to start with Gary. Give us a percentage out of the people that you know that are West Ham fans. What percentage would you say are Moyes out versus Moyes in?
People I know.
People you know.
People I speak to in person and on the phone and whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I reckon it's probably 60% Moyes out.
Only 60. Oh wow. Oh, fair enough. Jazz, how about yourself? Did you get that question,
can I caveat that?
Yeah.
Can I caveat that? One person I spoke to at half time the other day against Leverkusen, I won't say who it is, right? You know you are.
Yeah.
Said to me, is Jared Bowen playing then? It was at half time. I said, well, he set up the goal. Right?
There you go. Right, Jazz, that question goes to you. This is how we're going to wrap this up. What percentage out of the people that you know, West Ham fans, would you say are Moyes out versus Moyes in? Oh, no, he's gone.
Luke,
we go to you. Luke.
Okay.
Jazz. Jazz, is his battery gone?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Well, go on. We go to Jazz first. Go on, Jazz.
Yeah, because I had 8% left and I was going to change it. I think I might have enough. So all the people I know, it's 100% Moyes out. But when you go to the ground, when I did, and you got different people around you, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. There's a lot. There's more than 5, 10, 15% Moyes in. There's a lot. And a lot of them are like, different ages, different backgrounds, and you don't know what to wish for.
So what's your overall number? Get off the fence, Jazz. You get splinters. What's your overall number? How many Moyes out?
Would you say?
Well, people I know.
A rough percentage.
Well, people I know.
Yeah.
0%.
No, the ones that are on the ground and the ones that you know and everything else. How many are Moyes out of as a percentage?
If you could gauge it yourself.
Rough approximation.
I would say that if you add the two together, people I don't know at the ground, but I speak to my friends together, you got to talk about it got to be at least 60% out, 60, 65. It will be 100. The people in my circle.
We got
yeah.
So we got 2 lots of 60%. That's what I tried to do. I tried to add them all together. It's about 60%. Yeah.
Right.
Go
on, then, Luke.
Honestly, there's 10%. I honestly, I'm being serious. I have to fight battles regularly to try and put my point across about why I want him out. It's honestly come on YouTube and Twitter and stuff is the only time I really feel like backed up, because I have to explain myself regularly. To the point I just give up and just say, I'm always in whatever. Sometimes I ain't got the energy to do it. It's interesting though. I'm about this point because I think it's quite true actually. Because we're all going around now, and none of us have said 100% yet, unless I get to Nick and he says yes. Anton mentioned it to me years ago. He said there's a different fan base at the stadium and on social media. And I realised that when we signed Zuma, because I didn't know Zoom was people started saying Zoom, didn't they?
Zoom. Yeah.
I thought they were booing him when we first signed him. I didn't realise it was a nickname or a fan chant. And I thought there's been no social media post. I've not seen anyone tweeting it or Instagram saying Zoom. We got big Zoom. Like as soon as it got the football, like they're booing him. Why are they booing him? Just signed him. And I just realised, no, they're saying Zoom. It was like that. And I think as it's gone along, I think there's not many. I don't during the games, for example. I don't hear. I'm a season ticket holder. I've gone to quite many games this season for a number of reasons. When I do, you don't really hear people go, Moyes out. You heard it, Pellegrini. You heard it with Bilic after a while. I don't hear that many people saying Moyes out, you're shit, or anything like that. So yeah, I'd say mine isn't very big actually. To be fair,
well, give us a percentage, Jim. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I said 10% at the start. You muppet.
Is that what you said? Only 10%. Moyes out. You need to get new friends, Luke. What are you doing with your life?
He knows 4 people. He's 10%
out.
Can I? Yeah, I ain't got many. Honestly, I don't. My circle of friends and family probably they don't.
You know the point I tried to make about that person who didn't know. Some people just go to football. and they just go home again.
Yeah. Look, when did you get a job at Talksport? You didn't tell me. When did you start working for them?
I just for the record, right? I do. Obviously, I know there's people that slag people off and abuse each other and all sorts of stuff. You boys know that more than anyone. But I do. If you're Moyes in, and you have, fair play to you. I respect all.
I haven't got an issue with anyone as Moyes in, providing they're fucking respectful and this.
Yeah. Look, you're very balanced. You're very balanced. I love that. Yeah, we need all different types of fans.
Yeah,
so it's not,
but with me,
honestly,
I'm going to
be serious. 10%. I'm
I'm going to be honest, and I think you've undersold it, Gary, massively, because don't forget we do run a network as well, where we know lots and lots of fucking West Ham fans that are on there, as well as our friend circles and everything else.
Oh
For me, I'm going to tell you now. For me, and this includes when I go to the ground. For me, I'm saying 95%. In fact, a couple of the only ones that are Moyes in that I know, as well, Luke. And there's but no. Do you know what I mean? And in other circles, I don't know that many that are. I don't. I know one or two that are fence sitters, like Paul, our cousin Paul. He's a bit of a fence.
No, he's not. He's Moyes out firmly now. But let me just say, when I said 60% Moyes out, it don't mean it's 40% Moyes in. By the way, it means there's 20% probably who don't give a fuck. Yeah, just don't care. They just go football. You know what I mean?
No, but like I say, for me, I don't know many. I don't know many. I mean,
I just want to clarify, Nick, that
I don't know many.
when we won the Europa Conference, I was Moyes out the next day because thank you very much.
I was.
I know.
So I was. That's how I was. But I'm not being funny, right? When you look at it like that, and this is the mental logic, what I didn't understand. If you were accepting of the fact that David Moyes had a travesty of a Premier League season and he deserved the sack,
I agree, John.
To all of a sudden switch that opinion to say, right, off the back of one goal in the final, we wipe that slate clean, we go again. That's fucking mad. You can say thank you, and the crazy thing is, Luke, and the thing is, now we can all say it in retrospect. 100% that would have been the best thing for David Moyes because he would have gone because that Premier League season. Do you know what? I would have forgotten all about it if he'd have gone at that point with that cup win. I'd have just been happy. Thanks very much, David Moyes. Off you pop. Done. Finished.
It weren't going to get any better for him, was it? A trophy win at West Ham is like seeing a unicorn or a pig fly.
Absolutely,
completely.
It's mad. But and obviously, I know this is the Conference League and the levels are very high, but you still got to win it. Like West Ham couldn't beat Astragugu for like two years big qualification, so you still got to win it. Take the thing. It ain't going to get you better and go. And look, I know people that have never seen West Ham win, haven't seen them consistently be in Europe. So I get the ethos that he's given us a few things that we haven't had for a long time, and so I understand. The thing with me that I know people, and I tell you this, I know people that were vehemently against Allardyce signing because he was a long ball merchant. He was completely anti West Ham.
Yeah,
the same people now have been telling me I'm talking nonsense because
I'm getting the same thing. We know a very high profile person that has a very same opinion, and I love him to pieces, but detested Sam Allardyce. You know what I'm talking about, Luke, as well. Detested Sam.
They bigged up at the time the West Ham way, saying this is not West Ham, it's traditions, all that sort of stuff. And now it's like,
no, it don't matter.
West Ham way, what is that? What? And I'm thinking, you were having a go at me.
Well, the West Ham way is a representation of how we want our team to play football. And then, do you know what? Well, I'm going to go back to it and I'm going to say it once more. The West Ham way was Thursday night against Leverkusen. It was blood, sweat and tears on the front foot. You're in our fucking yard. We're going to come at you. Push them back. That's the West Ham way.
It's not even that is almost like half of it, because the other half is what I think Gonzo done a video of it the other day of saying about all the training techniques and the playing with smaller balls in training, getting the passing going, working on youth and bringing you through. It's more than just that. That's just one half of it. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
It's like it.
But I think we're looking at putting those pieces in place. If you look at our youth academy now, there is a raft of players that are going to come through. If we've got the right manager coming in. We are hated. We're hated by a few,
on Twitter.
Yes.
We are. We're roundly hated on Twitter. They don't like us. But there's a lot of nice people. Let's not say everyone on Twitter shit, because I've got a lot of lovely people on there.
There are nice people on there. But
unfortunately, these other fuckers come into your threads and chat a load of shit, don't they? And that's when I'd give it a rest for a few days and don't bother. I wish Twitter would go back to what it was, because once upon a time,
all about 12 years old, spotty cunts.
That was a great platform once. I loved it.
Is it X that you don't like, or did you like Twitter before Elon Musk?
No. I mean, since it's become X, I don't like Elon Musk. I really
no. Well,
yeah.
Right. Look. Anyway, we'll wrap this up. Thank you very much for. Yeah. Thanks for joining, Luke. Fuck me. Take your time, mate.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke. Bad time.
That time.
I do blame Nick, though. I do blame Nick.
It's been wonderful. Jazz, give your channel a shout out again, mate.
Yeah, West Ham Eyes channel. Yeah.
West Ham Eyes channel. I will. Joe, I always say that, and I'll always forget. I will put your link to your thing in the description.
West Ham Network, guys.
Luke, give Clarence Bush a shout. You know your channel as well. Clarence Bush, yeah. Clarence Bush, yeah. All right, okay, that's good. Right, here we go.
I'm going to talk over him.
Right, here we go. Gonna play it out once more. What did you think of my little Luke? What did you think of my little video that I made? Did you watch it?
That's it.
Have you not seen it yet?
Well, I was busy playing by the phone for you to answer my messages.
You're in for a little treat.
Treat for you.
You're in for a little treat. Here we go.
Well, I'd say that what MD's getting here with me is a very experienced Premier League manager. Arguably, there's only 2 or 3 who've got more experience, games in the Premier League. I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win.
Ah, fuck, I've gone and pissed myself. What do I look like covered in this? I look like a fucking loser drenched in piss. I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I went and pissed myself. At least I'm not lost all self-respect until now, because oh fuck, I've gone and shit myself. Well, would you look at this? I'm all covered in piss and shit. Just earlier I was looking swell, but by golly now I smell, and that's too bad because I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I shit and piss myself.